Hey, I'm your host, Anthony Tank Mansfield, and with me today is
Alex Schubert.
and
Stewart.
this is What You Into.
What you into? What you into?
This was the guy.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, all right, Schubes, Alex, thank you both. Well, fuck, that's weird because you're Alex Schubert,
Yes.
but then you're Alex Stewart.
Yeah, just so we don't have to get confused, you can call me Alex.
All right, Alex, Schubes,
Gotta help.
Alex. All right, listener, you've been informed. Schubes, what do you sound like?
I sound like this.
And Alex, what do you sound like?
I sound like this.
All right, mystery solved. There we go. All
We
right.
sounded pretty similar there.
Yeah,
It was, God damn it, this is going to be a tough episode.
I am so sorry.
No, it's not.
That's our life.
this is the problem when you two hang out.
Oh yeah.
All right, fair enough. We'll get into it.
No, all right. So like, let's just go like, all right, fine. Last letter or first letter of your last name.
S.
S.
Again, it's like it's
You
like
got
twins.
ending to the last names too. It's
Yeah.
a bit of a mess.
Well, look, I'm really glad you guys came down to my subterranean lair today to talk Mario.
Absolutely glad to
I'm
be here.
looking forward to it.
I feel like of all places, we should be in a basement or near some pipes or just something.
Got some 1-2 vibes going on.
Yeah, to make sure that we're where we should be to have this happen. I'm really stoked about this episode. I love Super Mario.
Same.
To me, it's my Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know if you could have timed this more perfect with the Mario movie just coming out a day ago. I mean, the whole world is kind of talking Mario right now. And
Have
it's
you seen it yet?
surreal. No, I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's interesting seeing Mario become like this like pop culture thing, especially now with the movie and having like theme parks and shit built around him
yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's like such a weird thing to see because again, like I said, like with the Mickey Mouse thing, like I was born and that was already happening way before I came on the scene, and to see something happen in my lifetime where it's like, oh no, this is like a big thing that like people around the world recognize. Like you can go anywhere and people recognize Super Mario.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I remember watching, for example, I was watching Superbad when I was a kid, the McDonald's documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Is like the kids are like 10, 12-year-old kids, or like probably younger than that. Like they couldn't recognize like George Washington or like historical figures, but they easily knew who Ronald McDonald was.
Yes. No, 100%. I mean, that is that thing in pop culture where there are some people or some things that get to a point where everybody recognizes them. It doesn't matter if you're like a 60-year-old black woman from Cleveland, or if like you're some like middle-aged white dude farmer in Kansas, or if you're like a small like Asian kid that's living in San Francisco, like you recognize some of those cultural things like Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, Super Mario, just
Yeah.
stuff that like it doesn't matter like how old you are, what your demographic is, what you may what you're putting in the bank, like you recognize this thing of pop culture. And Mario is also interesting just because it's like one of the things where it's people relate it to video games. Like it's like when you say like pro wrestling to somebody, like, oh, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you say video games, people are like, oh, Super Mario. And if they're not a gamer and if they don't understand like Xbox versus PlayStation like that, they're like, oh, do you like play Super Mario on your Xbox? It's like, no, that's not how any of this works. Oh man, so
Could you make the argument he is the most recognizable video game
I
character?
think so.
I would say so. Yes. I mean, I don't know who else would be. I mean, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, and maybe like Master Chief.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Well, I don't think. Maybe even Pikachu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Pikachu's
Pikachu might be up there. Like as the other Juggernaut.
I just think like Mario in itself has become like the centerpiece of a franchise that's been around
yeah.
for 40 plus years.
right.
100%, absolutely. Well, speaking of franchises, let's talk about where people can find you guys at online. Instagram for Alex Stewart, you can find him at Mr_Al_Licks. And for Schubes, you can find him at Big Schubes on Instagram. And dude, you're doing a lot of stand-up recently. Where are you at?
I was I'll flex a little bit. I was in Chicago last weekend. I got to do the Laugh Factory for a couple shows. Friday was bonkers.
Yeah.
And then I got to do Zanies in Chicago on Saturday. That was super fun. Most headshots I've ever seen in a club.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! It was literally
just like a wall of just nothing, like no room left, just picture.
Oh, a wall is an understatement.
Oh, shit.
It was the entire club.
Whoa.
Like maybe even like I don't think it was the ceiling, but like not the ceiling, but every wall, every hallway had a headshot.
Wow.
It was insane.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
What's it like for you getting up in rooms like that? Like because I recently went to the Sunday night show to see Blake Hammond and Giles Chickering do their show. And
I was there with you.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there, and I'm like, I'm like near the stage, and I'm like, dude, even there's like it's not packed, but there's still a sizable crowd here. I'm like, I'd be so nervous to go up there right now, and then to amplify that into being in a place like Zanies or another big club, I'm just like, that's got to feel weird, man.
I think that's set in the most at the Laugh Factory because it's such a recognizable name. And like I've done it 4 times now. But I remember like when I first went back this past Wednesday, I was like, oh shit. Like this is a Laugh Factory. This is a pretty big fucking deal. But then like by minute, I only got to do 6-minute sets. But like by minute 2, I was like, oh, I'm just telling jokes.
Yeah,
And I was just like in a zone, and I
you just kind of settle in.
yeah, I settled.
And you're like, okay, I've been here before. I know what this is. I know how this works.
And then like Friday night was like actually sold out,
Nice.
and whoa,
Yeah. What's that feel like, getting that like explosion of laughter and like
it feels like the room is expanding.
that's pretty sick.
It's just like I've had that. I remember like I had that at Wiley's one point in Dayton, where it just felt like the room got bigger. It's insane.
That sounds pretty cool. I'm on the flip side of that, where I'm like, I also got to feel when that's not happening. That's got to feel horrible, and that's the part that scares me, where I get nervous. Where I'm like, oh man, standing in silence, I hate it. It seems like it'd be so scary.
Yeah, and I think like especially for like an inexperienced comic, I think that can like make them even more nervous, and it's just derail their set entirely.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, because you're at a point where you just had so many reps. You're like, okay, I've been in this position before. I know what this is. You know, if a heckler throws something at you, you're like, yes, this is not my first rodeo. Like, I know how to work
Let's go with
this.
that.
Yeah. Like,
that is an invitation to go heckle him anytime he does stand up.
I'm not a heckler. I'm not
You respect comedy.
yeah, I feel,
How dare you.
I don't want to fuck with somebody's shit. Like, if somebody is on stage and they start talking to me, I'll talk back to them. But like,
Right.
I've just never in the middle of a comedy show been like, pussy, or like, you know, you suck. Like, why?
I've heard in my 11 years, I've heard you suck once, and it was at Taft Theater for Chris Rock's opener.
Ooh.
That sucks.
And,
Dude.
and it was near the end of their set. It was just like, you suck. And it just fucking whole
That was a
theater got awkward.
completely digested set at that point.
Yes. And also, I just want to throw this out there. I've been doing stand-up 11 years. This motherfucker has seen me the entire time. Whole time.
You've
From
seen the
worst to
evolution.
first. What's that?
You've seen the evolution.
Oh, yeah.
Over the 11 years, you saw when he
And
started
I'm
out as a prop comic, when he went through his ventriloquist phase.
And then I became a
Weird
guitar
carrot top
comic.
fit in the middle.
But dude, I am eternally grateful for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck you put up with that, but here we
It's
are.
been fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hell yeah, man. Well, is there anything coming up you want to plug as far as shit happening?
Yeah, I got some local stuff. April 15th, that'll be next Saturday. I'll be at Deadlow Brewing.
Nice.
Chris Seymour's show.
That place is so damn big.
I know. I had my high school reunion there.
That tracks. They got room for a high school union. Also, listener, if you're in the Cincinnati area, if you ever go to shows over at Riverbend, you can park there and get drinks and then go over to the show.
I know.
Which is
Dude,
awesome.
Yes, sirree.
I grew up like 7 minutes from Riverbend.
Oh, nice.
Well, actually more like 10 because I grew up in Anderson Township.
Oh, right on.
April 16th, I'll be at Queen City Radio.
Sick. Cool bar.
April 19th, Daddy is headlining Chameleon.
Nice.
Tank, you should come to that if you like.
It has delicious pizza.
It's so good.
The pizza's
It's an
great.
easy sell.
Yeah, I know. At that place, it really is.
April 28th and 29th, I'll be in Erie, Pennsylvania at the Flagship City Comedy Festival. Friend of the pod, Dan Brady, is running that.
Nice.
May 7th, I'll be at Symposium in Cincinnati, kind of in the Hyde Park, Walnut Hills area.
That does sound fancy.
It's a pretty cool spot. It's like chill, but it's like still a small, intimate room. Ooh, this is a fun one. Have you ever heard of secret society shows in Cleveland?
No, what's up with that?
It's kind of like they change locations, but it's just like it's Cleveland's independent comedy. Like they just book like headliners,
Oh, nice.
or they'll book like known features and known headliners. And I'm doing 10 minutes on May 12th and 13th up there, and I'm supremely looking forward to that.
Hell yeah, dude. Cleveland's a cool town.
People shit on it. Like if you're in Cincinnati, like fuck Cleveland, it rules.
They've got a chandelier hanging right in front of God and everybody in the middle of the street.
It's so cool.
So many bars there. I went to a bar there once that was an outdoor patio inside a bar. I mean, it's a classy town like that.
Dude, have you been to Hilarities?
I've not been to Hilarities.
It's so it's in this like 4th Street Live district,
Oh, yeah.
and it's in this restaurant called Pickwick and Frolic, and it's right across from the House of Blues. But it's in this fancy restaurant. You go downstairs, and it's a fucking gorgeous like theater style comedy club.
Really?
Oh, it's the best.
That's awesome.
I went there twice. I saw Attell, who's my favorite, and I saw Dan Soder.
Oh, I'd love to see Soder, dude.
Soder's unbelievably funny.
Yeah, I like Dan Soder a lot. I love there's not a lot of people that can do voices, and that dude kills it.
Dude, he's so good.
And he's so quick on the draw when it comes to stuff. Like he can just riff. I definitely miss him being on the Bonfire with Big J Okerson because like it was just those
His
two.
special just came out recently.
Yeah, it just recently dropped. Yeah, where it was just like those two dudes. Like give them anything, and they would just like riff back and forth. It was like watching two really good tennis players just volley the ball back and forth to each other.
Oh yeah,
for extended periods of time. It's just like, how are you guys not running out of like shit to say right now?
As someone who grew up playing tennis, like my dad was a tennis coach for 30 years.
Holy shit!
Tennis is a grueling sport.
Yeah,
you know, dude. It's like, yeah, tennis was probably the biggest reason I was not an obese child.
I mean, you're just constantly running all over the damn place.
Yes, you're running, you're swinging your arms, and there's like, you get a break once every 2 games, but it's just like, and you switch sides.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I could not. Yeah, I also don't like having balls thrown at me or hit at me.
Yeah, and it's it's like there's also reaction time where it's like someone could hit a serve like 115 miles an hour.
Fuck that.
And you gotta like I would have to stand back and just make sure I got it back to the other side.
Yeah. No, that's heavy heat coming at you, man. It's like a pro pitcher like throwing. That's faster than a pro pitcher.
It is.
Like, you're talking like 105 for the the big boys. And then, you're clipping above that.
Like actually here's a Reds fact for you. The 2 fastest pitches of all time were both thrown by Reds pitchers, and the same batter saw both pitches.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Well, look,
this is a Mario episode.
I was going to say, yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to shift. You know where to find me at? Listener, neonanoone.com is the website, at neonanoone is the Instagram. And let's get into it, guys. Let's talk Mario. So,
yes.
All right. So the little backstory here, like I said at the beginning, I'm a huge Mario fan, have been for years. And I was talking to Schubes, and you were like, hey, can we talk about Super Mario? And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay.
Of course.
Like random poll, but yeah, this is something I'm really into. And then you were like, oh, and can my buddy Alex come on the show too? Because he knows everything. And I was like, I mean, if he knows everything, then yeah, sure. So,
yeah, well, I'm here to deep dive, man.
Yeah.
Just pull out the obscure stuff. And
I was like, let's make this happen.
I think we also talked about Zelda too, because like I think that was brought up too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was definitely a Nintendo child growing up.
Same.
So any of that stuff, I'm always gonna like have a soft spot in my heart for, because it's the stuff that started me really into gaming. So how did you guys, where and when did you guys meet and kind of bring this Nintendo friendship together?
It was we met in the 5th grade. I went to school in Anderson Township for like 4 years. Parents got divorced. My mom got remarried. She moved to Kentucky. She moved to Edgewood, Kentucky, and then we both went to a school called R.C. Hinsdale for 1 year.
there was this very narrow time frame in which we could meet, and that basically happened because we almost had the exact same name.
Yes.
So a lot of lining up by last name and hearing Alex Schubert and Alex Stewart, and we're like, who's this guy? Like, I've been going here for 4 years now, and I've never heard of him. So, we were sitting in line talking about stuff, and really, at that point, all you had to do was tell me that you liked the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And you immediately got to be in the best friends club. Like,
Yes, easily.
that's all it took back when I was a wee lad.
I know. I remember a month after we met, you got a note about this from our former teacher. Years down the line, Mr. Ritter.
Yeah.
So I remember I was on a field trip in 5th grade. We went to Tall Stacks downtown, and I got lost. And I ended up with another group.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I ended up with another group, and then they found me at the end of the day, and everyone was just freaking out at me.
And at that point, I was the only person who really talked to him and really got to know him. So
Yeah,
the
I
teacher
was
just
a
rolls
month-
up and was like, Alex, where is the other Alex? I'm like,
I don't know. We're down in Alex.
right.
Yeah. If only group chats had existed back then.
Oh, there's a lot of things that would be different if like cell phones and group chats
Oh, God,
existed. Yeah, like so much stuff. Where I was like talking when I had Cody on the show on The Sopranos. We talked about how like The Sopranos wouldn't be possible today just because of Ring cameras. Because it's just like you can't just like you can't just like beat up a guy in the middle of the street now. Like there's multiple cameras on you all over
Oh,
the
yeah.
place
Yeah.
from any business.
Like everyone is videotaped like in an egregious amount at every point in the day.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you constantly have a camera on you.
So I bring that up because his old teacher and my old math teacher too, is his homeroom teacher, wrote a note to him like years down the line and said, "Do you remember when Alex? What was it? What did it say in the note?"
Pretty much that is like, I remember the time that Alex Schubert got lost and you like helped us save the day. I was like, did I?
No, we just happened upon the other group.
Yep.
But then we just so anyway, back to the original slide, like we just bonded over Nintendo, and
Yeah.
I would go over to his house, and we were
And
just
to kind of date us, if the Nintendo 64-bit didn't, we're both, that was the console growing up at the time. Because we're 90s kids through and through.
Well, this is also after the GameCube had come out.
Yeah, about 2 years after that.
Yeah.
I'd just been getting into that, still playing my N64 games pretty religiously because I had a big stash of them at that point.
Yeah.
So,
Listener, to put me in space and time and all this, N64 was a high school system for me, and GameCube was a college system, post-college system.
yeah.
So what is the attraction here for you guys? Because Shubes, again, this is like this whole thing where it's like, hey man, you can come on the show and talk about anything you're into. You said Mario, why?
I guess it's just what I grew up on. It's like I grew up on like I know buddies that had like they grew up on like the PS2 games. I think Mario is just like this franchise that just has continually evolved over the past 40 years. It's like it's evolved in every way. Like it's evolved in graphics and gameplay, and it's just more of a variety has come out, and also like more like sequels have come out for games, like multiple Super Smash Brothers games, multiple Mario Party games, numerous Mario Party games, numerous Mario Kart games, and
Yeah, but it's kind of just living in that ecosystem because with the Nintendo 64 you could have your Mario Party, your Mario Golf, your Super Smash Brothers, Mario 64, Mario Kart, like all of this stuff. So he was just kind of this character in the center of all of this entertainment and fun that I got to have, by myself or with my brother or with friends. Like that was what I bonded with people over the most at the time.
Yeah, doing research for the show, I found out that like Mario has appeared as a playable character in over 200 games.
Oh yeah.
And then that's not including showing up as like a statue or like a painting on the wall or just other guest appearances in other games. It's just wild, like how many games this character has existed in.
like okay, so for example, in one of my favorite games of all time, and which is regarded as the greatest game of all time, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which is top 3 game all time for me. In Mario 64, there was in the back of the castle there was this thing called the Eternal Star, which multiple people thought said Ellis Real 2401, but that's a whole other fucking thing. But then in Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, in a level called Dodongo's Cavern, which is like one of the second levels, and this top floor of the cavern is the Eternal Star. You played Ocarina of Time, right?
I have. I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, it's like it's like on the top floor. It's like the exact replica of the Eternal Star.
That's pretty cool.
So it just shows up everywhere.
Yeah, it is interesting just to see like how they have created this universe with Mario and just the different places he's appeared.
And I think we were going to get into the history of it a little bit, but to
Absolutely.
pinpoint when it happened, basically was about 1990 or 1991 when Super Mario Bros. 3 came out. So I'm sure you remember it better than me. I wasn't even born yet, but that's a game that I played a ton of growing up over at Grandma's
That was
house.
the Fox Mario, right?
So,
Yeah, Raccoon Mario. Yeah,
Or Raccoon Mario.
Yeah.
But that's the point where Nintendo's like, oh, we've got something here.
Yeah,
let's put
100%.
him on our edutainment games. Let's put him in, a cart and on the tennis field, on everything. And that's when they went from having him be the standalone platforming Jumpman to this whole wide world of wherever you want to plug him in, let's make it happen.
And we'll talk Mario 3 in a little bit, but I agree. I feel like with the first 3 Marios, it felt a lot like I talk about the 3 album theory on the show a lot that Ian Robinson coined. It's the idea that like with Mario, the first game is huge. The second game is it's not a sophomore slump. It's definitely not that, but it's also not what the first one was. They took a lot of chances with the second game. There's a lot of stuff that hit for me that I liked. There's a lot of stuff where I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But the third game sticks the landing and is like, no, this is now going to become something huge.
Oh, yeah.
Because of just the replayability of that game, the look of the game, the music of the game, just everything about that game fucking works. And it's just an instant classic the moment you pick up the controller.
For sure.
Because not only do they have it figured out, but they also have like more ideas for the games. They can just implement it and just perfect it and just figure out the flaws in the original.
100%. Well, yeah, let's talk history real quick, guys. So this is created by Mario is created by Shigeru Miyamoto. I hope I'm pronouncing all this right.
You nailed it.
All right, sick. And so Mario originally appeared in 1981 as part of Donkey Kong because he couldn't get the rights to Popeye. So originally Popeye was supposed to be in fucking Donkey Kong.
Pretty much.
rules.
So the idea there is that when they were trying to sell games into the U.S. market, they had to come up with very American things. And Shigeru Miyamoto is very American culture influence and had a lot of these great ideas. He was already a star child of Nintendo at that point, and he's like, hey, let's go ahead and let's talk it out. Let's get the rights to Popeye, have Bluto at the top of this construction site throwing barrels down at Popeye, and he has to come rescue Olive Oil.
That makes sense.
So at some point, that licensing deal fell through. They had this great idea for a game, and they're like, well, shit, what do we do now? So it basically got retooled and turned into Donkey Kong. And even at that point, Mario wasn't Mario. He was Jumpman.
Yeah, Jumpman. Yeah, Jumpman, sometimes also called Mr. Video.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that right there at the beginning. It was kind of this, what is he going to be?
Yeah, what is he? Like, what do we call this guy?
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, he wasn't even rescuing Princess Peach. I believe the original girl's name was Pauline.
Pauline.
Yeah. So, well, and then this also then gets into the story of how did Mario get his name. So, according to a widely circulated rumor, during the localization of Donkey Kong for American audiences, Nintendo of America's warehouse landlord Mario Segale confronted then-President Minoru Akara demanding back rent. Following a heated argument in which Nintendo employees eventually convinced Segale that he would be paid, they opted to name the character in the game Mario after him.
The little tweak to that I've always heard is that, it was a rent dispute, but it was this Mario landlord like helping them out at the time. So it wasn't like okay, just give us some time, we'll name him Mario for you. It's more like, hey, we need an everyman name. They kind of went with that Italian spin to it and said, all right, let's do Mario.
And there it was. And so he's named.
Oh, yeah. And so they needed that for specifically Mario Bros, the arcade game that followed.
That makes sense.
So that's the first time Mario was Mario.
And then from there, it turns into the whole thing where I think this is interesting with the Mario Bros. Game was the idea that Mario was made to match the environment that he was in. So like when he was in Donkey Kong, he was more like a carpenter character is what they said.
Yeah.
And then once they put him in the Mario game of Super Mario, where it was more like in pipes and stuff, it's like, oh, he's a plumber. And they just tweaked it a little bit, but still the blue collar everyman.
And then Wrecking Crew, too. Back then,
Yes.
There was that game that he was like the construction worker, and I haven't seen the movie yet, but I hear that the construction foreman is part of it, and he goes from being a construction worker to a plumber. Like they kind of lay that groundwork all the way in 2023, like
That's
really
so
cementing
cool.
that in.
I love it when when especially something like this where it has a history, and when Hollywood tips their cap to the history of
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's a great thing that, the fans, new fans, there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to get it, but fans of Mario are going to be like, oh shit. And like,
So
pop
that's what
for it.
I've heard about this movie coming up, and that's why I can't wait to watch it. Is that they just stuffed it to the brim with all these little tips of the hat.
Nice.
I cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
That sounds way fun. Part of the controversy though, so Charles, is it Martinet?
Martinet.
Martinet has been the voice of Mario since 1992.
Yep.
Not in the movie.
He's not. No. There was some backlash to that. I think. I hate to say it, that's probably for the best, because he's got this very like wahoo, let's go, like this very high pitched Mario voice that I don't think I could listen to for 2 straight
Well, I
hours.
also feel like Mario, like the character, doesn't speak.
He
long
does it, and that's
sentences.
a big thing. Is that it is rare to
It's
hear
more
him
sound
say,
effects than anything.
say a full sentence, right?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Mario is kind of a one-word guy. Like he's
Yeah,
not much of a
absolutely.
he's a man of
I
action.
feel like they all are.
That's by design. I mean, story and character development and all this stuff has never ever been
Yeah.
instrumental for.
It's
for
always
Mario.
been text boxes.
It's gameplay first.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where kind of not overly developing the character leaves a lot open to it, because like there's really nothing you hate Mario for.
Yeah.
Like Mario doesn't ever have like a political take where you're like, Jesus Christ, like I got to
Come
shoot
on,
on my,
Mario.
I got to shoot on my Nintendo games.
I mean, Shigeru Miyamoto hasn't even had that.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, Nintendo is it's a very unto itself company in how it deals with the outside world. It is very cartoony and Disney like, and that's something that a lot of games, especially in the modern era, have moved away from. Like, there's so many games that push for realism now, and Nintendo is always like, nope, we're still making fun, cartoony games. And it's like you can go play, something like God of War or The Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima and cut off heads and fucking burn shit to the ground. But we're gonna be having like the Toadstool Kingdom over here. You can jump around, you can bring your
Right.
kids. Come on by, just like very woo.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the charm to it. Is that I can very easily go grab my 3-year-old nephew and sit him down and be like, "All right, Mario time, let's go."
Yes, 100%. Well, okay, so again, age gap difference here. So my first system that I had for myself was a Nintendo, and I grew up playing Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo. Just an instant classic game
For sure.
And again, like talking about kids, like that's a game you can give to a 3 or 4-year-old and be like, here, figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was revolutionary. I mean, there was no side-scrolling platformer to base it on. The jumping felt perfect. I mean, they really got to build this up from the ground up and have everybody flock to it.
Because the majority of games at the time was just like one screen, like Pong, for example. Pong was just
Yeah.
one screen, never moved. It's just like you did one, and like Galaga, for example.
Yeah.
Galaga, like Pac-Man, was just one screen that you did one thing on, never moved.
Well, and so there's a little bit of fun history to that too. So Super Mario Bros. Came out in 1985. 2 years before that was considered the video game crash of 1983.
That's because I think it was like E.T. came out that time and it bombed.
So
Yeah,
basically,
E.T. did help to kill it.
the really, really short version of that is that no quality control, not so great home console games, just completely phased out. People did not want to spend that kind of money on subpar entertainment, and stores were left holding the bag. So they're like, all right, no, we're not selling this. We don't want this, media in our stores. We're done with this. So Nintendo, at the same time in Japan, was killing it with their Famicom, which is basically the NES Nintendo. So they're like, we've got to get this in their hands somehow. So long story short, they Trojan horsed their way back in, sold it in the toy aisles of department stores with Rob the Robot, called it a entertainment console, like selling video cassettes, not video games. And Super Mario Bros. Was in the very center of that, and it became such a runaway hit that everyone's like, oh, wait, this is great. This is the arcade experience at
you just have to
home.
figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about that on the Nintendo. I did an episode about the Nintendo with my friend Ben, and we talked about it was kind of a two-pronged approach. They did that side of it, and then they also had the Choice 10 machines where you could like go and you could play like 3 to 5 minutes of a Nintendo game at an arcade, and then it's like, by the way, you can go right down to fucking KB Toys or Toys R Us
and play these exact games at home
and take them to your house.
Yeah,
and it was a big difference in terms of like arcade quality at that time, where people were like, oh no, this is more than just like the old Atari things where it was just one screen. Like the graphics are actually really good for the time period.
And that was the thing, is that while video games in the home were a dead concept at that point, arcades were popping off. I mean, there were more and more great games showing up there, and Nintendo just said, hey, you can have this at home. Here you go. Here's Mario.
It was also wild living in a time where, and then living and watching it flip, where arcades were the things that graphically were always the cutting edge. Like arcade games always look better than your home console games. That was just the reality of it, because the arcade game was strictly for this just one thing instead of being able to play all these different things. And then at one point, everything completely flipped. And now it's like the best looking games are on your home console or on your computer.
Well, it's because like I feel like it's because the game engineers were more focused. The majority of them were more focused on the arcade games than they were the at-home games, because that's where the money was.
Well, and you can stuff a lot of, chips and processors and things in these big wooden boxes at the time.
Yes, you can.
By the time the PlayStation was out, that whole rhetoric flipped on its head.
Yep.
Yeah, and it did make a difference. And it was interesting, though, because one thing with arcades, it did make a social spot where you could interact and hang out with people.
For sure.
And you can still do that at home, and you still get that now with online gaming. But it was a very special thing where, like, you would go hang out in space. Like, I always compared, like, when I was a kid, I always felt like arcades were like a kiddie version of going to a bar or like a casino, where it's like, there wasn't a lot of adults in there. You kind of had free run of the place. You run around playing shit. It's fun. There's big lights and sound, and it was just a good time hanging out with your friends.
And now you can go to barcades.
100%.
Completely turn it on its head.
Yep.
Well, and I think it's that nostalgia and comfort, it's like, I love going and hanging out at barcades because it's like, oh, this is the shit I grew up doing. I love playing arcade games. I like drinking. I'm like, this is a blast. Somebody needs to open up a fucking Blockbuster. Can somebody make a bar Blockbuster? I don't know what the angle is with that. Like if we just all watch our own things on VCRs.
A bar
at
Blockbuster
the
is called a movie theater.
Okay, I guess I don't want to go to movie theaters though, unless it's fun. Unless it's like the Esquire.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, if can I talk somewhat during the movie and not be a nuisance?
I am a stan of commentary during the movie.
MST 3000.
What? Oh yes.
I would if we were in a basement together, I'd be down with it. If we were in a movie theater, I would want to kill you.
That makes two of us.
Agree.
Yeah, like especially like after like going through the whole COVID thing of like being locked down in my basement. Now when I have to like watch fucking movies with other people, if people do anything in the theater, it just instantly pisses me. I'm like, why the fuck am I even here? Like, why? Right. Like that guy's cell phone turned on. I'm like, fucking why can't we just like have something come out of the wall and just like, fucking take this guy's head off? Like,
yeah,
I'm very bothered right now. So
okay, that's fine.
But that's just my own personal shit. That I freak out at stuff. All right, I'm gonna settle down. We're gonna move on.
You're good.
So, all right. So we do Mario 1 and then Mario 2. And like we kind of talked about before, like it gets a whole different spin to it.
And there's a whole backstory to that too, if you want to.
Rip it, man.
So Mario 2 wasn't Mario 2.
No. In Japan, they made it and they were like, this is way too fucking hard for children.
So, so Mario Brothers 2 was basically a challenge mode or a rebuilding of that first game with a lot of new ideas in it, and that was the takeaway, was that this is harder than the first game, and the first game was already pretty tough to beat.
Yeah.
We can't do this. So what they did instead was they took this other game that was developed at the time, Doki Doki Panic, and retooled it and said, we can make this a Mario game, and we can put Mario ideas into this game and sell it as a Mario game. So for us, that became Super Mario Brothers 2. Mm-hmm. For Japan, it was Super Mario Brothers USA. But it was the same game. So you had Mario, you had Luigi, you had Princess Peach, and you had Toad. And it was a completely different world, some completely different characters, completely different game feel to it. But as you said, it kind of makes it stand out as its own thing. I don't think it's bad by any means.
No, I like Super Mario Bros. 2. I like that there's a lot more personality in this one. Like, there's a definite difference between Mario and Luigi in this game. Whereas, like, in the first game, it's just kind of a palette swap in terms of what they're wearing.
Mm-hmm. And in most games, it is.
But here, you get Mario is, like, kind of the boxier, shorter guy. And then Luigi is the tall, skinny dude.
who can jump higher.
You can jump higher.
And that idea in and of itself became its own thing in future games. So, there were a lot of seeds that were planted just in that one release.
Yeah, and it also brought Toad and Princess more into a prominent role too, where then they were their own characters and they had their own abilities.
Yeah, and even in their newer games where you can play as Toad and Peach again, and Toad has been the fast one and Peach has been the floaty one. So, just seeing those ideas from, 1987, 1988 carry on this much later with games like, Super Mario 3D World that just recently got a re-release and all this stuff. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, it really has been. And then we moved on to Super Mario Bros. 3. So 3, as we kind of talked about earlier, like there is just a lot of this that's just incredible. I remember like how insane it was when that game dropped trying to get it. I remember my friend Bonnie Harris's mom, shout out to Bonnie. Her mom had a brother that lived in Columbus who bought a copy at like the local Toys R Us and sent it down to her. And so then I got to play it with her, and I was
That's
like,
awesome.
I was like, holy shit, this is incredible.
I mean, that was following, this is Nintendo at the peak of their popularity, selling the most games of any company in the world.
Were there really any other systems up at the time?
There were a few. I mean, Sega Master System was out. TurboGrafx was just starting to show up.
Yeah, so during that period, like there wasn't, so Master System was out there, the Sega Master System, but like I didn't know anybody who had one, and you would see it appear in like comic books, but it wasn't something you heard a lot about. When Sega really hit was when they released the Genesis, because they got the Genesis out the door before the Super Nintendo, and that made a world of difference because going from an 8-bit system to a 16-bit system, and then also the marketing of Sega and the way they approached it, where they were like, hey, like Nintendo is kind of goofy and kind of kiddie. Now, are you ready for your teenage system? We're badass. We wear leather jackets. We fucking smoke.
Genesis does.
Yeah, exactly. And they had like a bunch of stuff where, Sega had made a bunch of arcade games, so they were bringing that stuff and porting it over, and it looked really good, So take something like Altered Beast from the arcade, really wasn't much of a downgrade, and you get that as the pack-in with the Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
And then they figured out, after that initial launch, once they got Sonic on their hands, and it's like, okay, now we have our own cartoon mascot that can go against Mario.
And that was the point where it was basically the mascot wars. That's how I like to call it. So you had, Sonic in the ring with Mario in the ring with everybody else who wanted to throw a platforming mascot out there to.
And you had to have one. Like you brought up the TurboGrafx 16, like they tried to bring this character named Bonk. And like he was like this caveman with a gigantic head. You would like let you get a bigger head when you got power-ups so you could bonk more. Yeah, it was, and I'm trying to think if anybody else popped out at that time that also had a mascot. Later on, like PlayStation gets in with like Crash Bandicoot, and that kind of thing. I feel like
those are the big ones, but I mean, even little companies were trying to do their Plocks, their Bubsies, and all.
Oh, I remember Bubsy. Yeah, that was not good.
Terrible, terrible stuff.
Well, like Mario wasn't the only Nintendo mascot. Like Link was a big Nintendo mascot.
He was, but I mean, at the time, dialing it back a little bit to like 1990, it was Mario.
Mario was the HBIC.
It pretty much. I mean, it's almost. I haven't even seen that as ubiquitous until like now. But at the time, there was the Super Mario cereal, the Super Mario comics, the Super Mario, the
Nintendo
cartoon
Power,
show,
cartoon. Yeah, I mean, and again, it's just Mario.
The Wizard.
He's on. Yeah, and he's on everything. It's this little Italian plumber's head that's just everywhere.
Do you remember the commercial where everyone's chanting Mario, Mario, Mario? It zooms out, it zooms out, it zooms out, and it's the whole like his face. On the planet
it's like
Earth.
The Earth. Yeah.
That's how it seemed at the time.
Yeah, it really did. He was just such a big thing, and Super Mario Bros. 3 was such a big game. Getting to then like get into the idea of like the Koopa Kids again, expanding the universe.
Yeah,
and then also the idea of like bringing in stuff like the ability to like float and fly, not to the extent that it would become in Mario World, but like just having the ability to now,
Even just having the overworld and picking your levels felt like
That
this
was
big
huge.
thing. That and all the, playground rumors of, oh, do you know about the secret whistle that'll take you to this world?
Yeah.
And all this other stuff. I mean, it was a
And that would
big,
kind of
big
become a
deal.
theme throughout pretty much every fucking Mario game.
Oh, yeah. A lot of that, playground talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's fun in those games where, making stuff like that, where it's like, look, do you want to get the whistles? And you can get to the last stage very quickly. Like, you don't have to grind the game if you don't want to. Like, you can
Yeah.
just really, if you know what you're doing, you can get through that game in less than 20 minutes.
Yep.
Because you can just instantly get to like the last
We'll
spot.
get to that. We'll get
Oh,
to
yeah.
that.
Are we talking speedruns?
Oh,
Yes, we
hell
are.
yes.
Oh, okay. Sick.
Yeah, we are.
All right. Are we talking speedruns on anything so far?
So there actually is a documentary that just came out about Super Mario Bros. 3 that's been super fun to watch and get into. But I mean, every Mario game has a speedrunning community. Like just people that are really, really good at that particular game. And you'll see some crossover where the guy who's really good at Mario 3 is also really good at Mario World and stuff like that. But
Because like if you master like that platform, I feel like the other one doesn't take as long to learn because you've mastered pretty much that platform.
Right.
Well, let's make the jump. Let's go to the Super Nintendo now. Let's talk Super Mario World.
yeah, so like you were saying with the Genesis coming out in, gosh, I want to say 91,
Somewhere in there,
90 or 91?
Yeah, early 90s, late 80s.
I mean,
early
they came
90s.
out swinging hard. And the answer that Nintendo had to have in their pocket was the next Mario game. And they basically made Super Mario Bros. 3 2. And it wasn't that impressive during development. And they delayed the whole system in the game and all this other stuff to get that extra year and really put all this extra polish into it, extra character, and came up with this totally new take on it that, again, blew the water out.
Yeah. Wow, what an incredible game! Just like
It was an all-time great.
yeah, it was. A gun to my head right now, I'm gonna say my favorite video game of all time. Like it's just,
All right.
it's instantly recognizable, instant replayability. Like it's still fun to this day. Just the imagination that was put into that world, the look of the world, the graphics, the sound.
And even the fucking like the map of like the levels.
The overworld, I think, tied it all together.
It really did.
You got this whole island to explore and go, any direction you want. You could hop into Star Road and zip through, and
Which was the secret level that's like fucking playground talk.
yeah, exactly. And that's every single game kind of had that little bit of, dig under the surface and find all these cool secrets to it.
Yeah, and
It ruled.
and they really hit that too with the idea of like you could complete so some stuff was like if it if it was a yellow there was only one exit, but if it was
Yep.
a red there was two exits,
Yep.
and so then having to find the second way to exit a level.
Yeah. And that's the game I think I'd argue that almost anybody can pick up right now today and have a great time with. It's such an easy sell
Yep.
over a lot of the other Mario games that, it's still great.
Yeah, go right. Don't touch the bad guys unless you're stomping on them.
Right.
And go.
It's like that combination of like simple and complex that's
Yes.
just perfect.
Yeah, 100%. It is. I mean, tie back to speedrunning. I mean, like Super Mario is definitely something that's akin to like boxing or jiu-jitsu or any kind of martial art where it's like, okay, well, you get the idea. Like it's kind of this steps now figured out, and then you try it, and then you like fumble, fuck, fall on your face trying to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, oh shit, for this to like look so easy and so graceful, there's so much work that goes into it to be a top level player in this world.
Oh, yeah. And I think at the time, too, or going back now, you can play Mario World and then go grab any other platforming game, and it's just not going to have that same feel to it.
Yeah. Very much a lot of difference in what a Mario game is.
Yeah,
I feel like because like was Mario 3 was on the NES, right?
it was.
So basically, Super Mario World was Super Mario Bros. SNES.
Yeah, it was almost called Super Mario Bros. 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
In development, I think that's the name they went with, and then when they landed on that overworld and went with Super Mario World, it all clicked.
And I feel like that's better because like at some point, I feel like Mario Party is an exception, but there's at some point where it's just like, all right, there's too many sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also giving like each one of the things that it does is it gives each one of the games its own unique identity.
For sure.
of like what this is. And there's some Mario games where I'm like, I don't like this, but then you can come back to another one and it's like, oh, cool, like the mechanics are different, or this has a whole new theme to it, and you can jump back
For
in.
sure.
So yeah, well, while we're on the Super Nintendo, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that comes out on the system, specifically Super Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Is an
This
exceptional
was
game.
the first the first memory I have of playing video games is Super Mario Kart.
Really?
Yep.
Do you remember like how old you were or like where you were at?
Ballpark 3-4 years old.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and it's just like it just began what was one of the greatest franchises of the game.
And it was another like one of those flukes almost that gave us this exceptional product. Because one of the games that came out very early for the Super Nintendo that was a WoW game that they were trying to show off. If you ever played it, was F-Zero.
Yep.
The big racing game, and that was this blast processing, this mode 7 3D-ish like 100 mile an hour crazy racer that was just amazing to play. And the goal of what eventually became Super Mario Kart was just to get F-Zero but 2-player. That's all they set out to do at first. And as they built it, they're like, well, hang on, we can, it's more fun if you have interactions with racers and you can like hit each other with items and all this stuff. And at some point, it just merged into this brand new idea of, oh, now it's Mario in the kart. Now you got Luigi and, Toad's a light racer and Bowser's a heavy racer. Like, and just had this whole identity built around this game.
And it got to the point where like literally every other franchise was like, oh, we want our own racing game now. Like Diddy Kong Racing came out, and
Yeah, I mean, that started its own... kart racing became a genre.
Yeah, it became a genre.
Yeah.
And there were some before it, like RC Pro-Am and a few others, but Super Mario Kart was the one that sold millions of copies and became this runaway hit.
And it's still, and that's where to tie it together, where the name come from, like that's why it's called kart racing, is because of Mario Kart.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because now you talk about like racing games, you're like, well, it's like an arcade racer, or well, no, it's more like kind of a simulation racer kind of thing. Oh, it's a kart racer, and you
it's just
instantly know
go-karts.
what that is. Yeah. And you're like, oh, so I'm gonna be able to shoot shit at people. I'm gonna be able to knock into them and stuff. It's like, yeah, that's the game. It's totally
It's
encouraged.
so fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. But
And it kind of tied like items from every game together. Like the banana was from Donkey Kong and all that shit. It was awesome.
yeah, having the mushrooms in it and stuff, and again, like you're getting to like see all these like different parts of the Mushroom Kingdom, because that's another interesting thing when Mario shows up in another game like tennis or Mario Party or Mario Kart
Or Mario Golf.
Yeah, it's like and it's always in the Mushroom Kingdom, so you get to see all these different parts of the kingdom.
Yeah.
And that's where, this being Shigeru Miyamoto's brainchild, he's always been the creative director of Mario. Like, what does this look like? What do the hillsides in the Mushroom Kingdom look like? What can be there, what can't be there? And, having this whole thing shaped to be this, landscape that's colored the same all throughout these games.
And like look at 64 for example, or like Mario Kart 64 for example. Like it was Royal Raceway, right? Royal Raceway was the one. We'll get to this in a little bit. That was literally the exterior of Super Mario 64. Like that. Like if you go to like after the giant ramp, like to the right,
And that was
is
a
literally-
mind-blowing thing to be like, oh, that's
That's the castle
That's
from
the other
Super Mario
game, yeah.
64.
Yeah,
It was just mind blowing, and it literally had a course for every single character.
and it's so smart to do that. And I love when a franchise has that kind of eye of continuity. Like that's something that I'm not the biggest fan of the Marvel movies, but I respect that how much they've laid that universe out to make sure they don't step on their own dick and like everything's
Yeah.
making sense, even though
Yeah.
there's all these different things happening at
Well, and we
once.
touched on it. We're only just now seeing the fruit of that labor. Like
Yeah.
it's always been if you're playing the Mario video games, you get that nice like Mario continuity. Now there's theme parks. Now there's a movie coming out. Like it's all becoming this bigger.
There's another movie coming out.
Really?
Well, the first one happened in like '93.
Oh, we're talking like John
the
Leguizamo, Super
train
Mario
wreck
Brothers
movie.
'93.
train wreck of a movie.
But it's so much fun.
I'll give you that.
The trash acid trip that is the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Holy shit, that movie! I don't remember. I can't remember the last time I saw it. I remember being a kid and like being like like 10 or 12 years old and sober and being like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah, and I mean, at the time, like, it was not representative of all of the world that Nintendo was trying to make with all these Mario games. But man, looking back at it now as a camp movie, it's so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
But it is crazy that Hollywood used to do that thing with licenses where they would take a license of something, but then they would like make it look different.
And they didn't know what they were doing with it
Yep.
or what made it fun in the first place.
Yeah.
You had the awful like Street Fighter movie.
The Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing that made no sense. Yeah, there's just, I don't know when Hollywood made this. Maybe it was like the first Iron Man movie or so where they were finding, it's like, look, let's just make these other places that aren't Hollywood, like they're doing something right. Let's just copy and paste what they're doing, but do it with cameras. And now it's like, okay, cool. Now, like because that was the same thing in video games. Like back in the day, like if they made a video game of a movie, it was always trash. Like every once in a while, you get a good one, like the Batman for the original NES,
Or The
Oh,
Last of
yeah.
Us.
yeah.
Well, granted, it's a TV show, but
Right, but that's inverse because they made the video game before they made the show.
yes.
Yeah, you're talking about like games based after media.
Yeah.
And there are so few exceptions from that time of games that are good. Like
Yeah.
you said, the Batman games, stellar. All of the Capcom games that came out with the Disney characters in them, like DuckTales and
DuckTales was rad.
Aladdin and all these other great games. Like those were the exceptions.
Yeah, but it used to be if you were like a movie, that was the kiss of death. It was going to be a shit video game.
Yeah, because it's a cash grab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was the tie-in. It was like, oh, what, like Terminator 2's coming out this summer. Got to make a Terminator 2 Nintendo game. Trash.
Yeah.
Like, fucking awful.
This is like super random, but I remember like iCarly had a game for the
Of course.
yeah, they had a game for like the Nintendo DS or
Oh
some
yeah,
shit.
they crap out dozens of those just
Oh, yeah.
shovelware games that.
What was the do you know more than I do? Like, I doubt you ever played the game. Do you remember the objective?
I doubt I ever will.
The objective for iCarly. Yeah, I don't know what.
No, you know what? You stumped the champ. Great job.
Oh fuck. Well, okay. Well, let's start where you guys kind of come into the picture. You said earlier, so Super Mario 64.
Asperger's is about to commence.
So I mean, my two sets of grandparents. One of them had an NES. One of them had a Super Nintendo. So I got some exposure to those games sometimes. It's not like I played them every single day, but they were amazing things to have around. And looking back, I super appreciate having that. The one that was in my living room at the time, 1996, was the Nintendo 64.
Okay.
And at the time, the groundbreaking thing that Nintendo did was define what a 3D platformer
It was
going to look
the first one.
not quite. It
Okay.
was the first good one.
Yeah,
We will-
okay, I'll give you that.
But basically, I mean, Mario 64 came out and immediately defined what it was going to be a 3D platformer. And then, to your point earlier, Zelda Ocarina of Time came out and immediately defined what 3D action adventure was going to
And I
look
think
like.
also with Ocarina of Time perfected the camera aspect of that.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, it's just crazy to me looking back at it again that Nintendo just had these two like home runs back to back with those two games.
Yeah.
But Mario 64 still has such an amazing staying power, a big community around it. It's still fun to pick up and play today.
It has like, I think a big reason that it's one of the most replayable games of all time for me. And also, you said gun to your head, Super Mario World. Mm-hmm. Gun to my head, not even close. Mario 64, greatest game of all time for me.
Is it the nostalgia for you, like the experience?
That is a
of playing
huge
it?
part of it. It's the nostalgia, the replayability, and what we were getting into earlier, the speed run.
It is so much fun with that specific game, watching so many people who grew up with it just completely tear it apart. Like, finding all the little seams in the wall, all the little tips and tricks. I mean, it's fun to play. It's got all of these different moves that let you maneuver however you want throughout that game, which is still kind of a rarity. I mean, with a lot of 3D platforming, there's a jump button, there's a punch button, and that's about it. You're moving around in this big open world. Mario had, the slide, the backflip, the wall jumps, all this other stuff that really made it feel like a sandbox.
Yeah, and I feel like with 3D platformers now, it's like every nook and cranny has been accounted for, but not Mario 64. Like there's so many like little holes that you can find, and it's just insane. And like so many people, like anytime like I'll watch like a YouTube video of a speed run, I was just like, how do you find this little nook and cranny in a wall? It's nuts. Like, how do you find out how to get the blast away the wall star without the can?
Right.
I remember like trying that game, and I was just so confused when I was in high school playing it, because I didn't have a 64, my buddy did, and I would kind of play around. I'm like, oh, I don't know, but at the time, that's where I made the shift from Nintendo to PlayStation.
Okay.
And so then that was the time where it's like, once you kind of pick your system, you're kind of stuck with it. Like I had a few friends that I had one friend who, him and his brother each had their own system. So like one would always have a PlayStation, the other would always have like an N64 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I was kind of stuck on like the PlayStation island, being cool. I was playing Resident Evil, and I had spiky hair, and I had a ball chain necklace. So guys, I was fucking cool.
You had hair.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had hair. Yes, exactly. That in and of itself, cool. But yeah, so I didn't get to play a lot of N64 of it, and now what you guys are saying are making me want to like go retro game this, because you guys are just
Oh, for
speaking
sure.
with like such passion and excitement about this game.
And that's the big thing that I've seen, and it's not a knock to anybody playing any video games from that time, but the Nintendo experience was so catered to these handful of gems of games that everyone seemed to have for their system. Like if you saw a Nintendo 64, you knew you could be playing Mario. You knew you could be playing Zelda. When you went over to your friend's house and there was a PlayStation, you had no idea what games that person was into. They might be all into like your Gran Turismos or your Resident Evils, or he might be playing Crash and Spyro.
And even with Xbox, it's the same thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what it turned into. I mean, I would say that every Xbox owner had Halo. But
Halo, Call of Duty.
I can't think of a single like defining PlayStation 1 experience of a game that everyone who had that system would play.
Yeah, I think the closest might be Twisted Metal, or maybe like Tekken.
You can even make the argument for Madden.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mentioned this, and this still blows my mind. The number one best-selling game for the PlayStation was Gran Turismo 2. How many people did you know that went around and had Gran Turismo 2 running back in like 1998 or 1999?
One of my roommates had it, but he was a huge car guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was definitely like a worldwide game where it was like racing, especially that style of racing was like way more popular in Europe. So it makes sense that like it might not pop here as hard because it's more like, you know, it's not as popular, but especially in a place like Europe, it makes sense for that would be selling copies all over the place. Yeah.
Right.
And
But
like, what were you saying?
well, I was going to say, and flipping it back to me, as I was saying earlier, like in order to be in the best friends club, you just had to have Nintendo 64. I knew I could talk to you about Mario.
Yep.
Like it was just such this package deal and such a great thing to have in the very middle of it. And that's what makes me love that game
And I
in
think-
particular so much.
And I think with Mario 64, and this is also what drew me to Ocarina of Time, is like once you figured the game out, you just didn't want to put it down. You wanted to beat the game. And it took a while to beat the game. Like for me, I remember it took me 7.5 years to beat the whole game once.
Did it have save points in it?
Oh, it did,
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, because that's also like an interesting thing with the Mario games is like once they'd started to get these bigger stories, but you could like save progress as you went.
Yeah, and Mario World was the first one where you could, beat it over multiple sittings. Mario 3 and before, you had to just get really, really good at playing the game and get back to where you were and then some.
Yeah, sometimes there is the thing where people talk about like back in my day and like try to romanticize that kind of thing, but it's just like, dude, I'm so glad I don't have to do it anymore. We're like, if I don't if I don't beat this game and I only have a half hour to play it, like I'm not making any progress. I'm just kind of wasting my time.
Or not being able to play the game because you lost the manual for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whereas now it's just like we live in a time where it's like like most games I'm playing are auto saving every 2 minutes, so I never lose any kind of
Or just
anything.
like click the little PlayStation button on your controller and it shows you the guide to how to get the next trophy or beat the next area or something like that. Like it's all
And
tied
like
into.
with Mario 64, like it's saved after every star, and every star name was a hint to the star.
Yeah. That was part of the fun sandbox of that game is that, going into it for the first time, and if I could play any game again, not knowing anything about it, it would be that game.
Yeah, easily.
Because you'd go in and be like, bully the bully. Okay, so I need to find a bully, and I need to beat him. And then you're looking all over this big map, and it's like, oh, over there in that corner. That's okay. So if I beat these guys up, okay, now a big guy shows up, and I'm gonna beat him up. Hey, look, there's that star.
And then later in that level, it's like, oh, go into the volcano and get the star.
Yeah, but you had these hints, especially not having like a guidebook telling you where to go. Just figuring that game out just based on those hints and clues and where you are in these big sandbox of levels. It was so much fun to
And I
figure
replayed
out.
it recently, and I was just like trying to talk because like you talk to toads in the game. Like toads are just like, it's not a character; it's just like a little guy that's there. Three of them give you stars.
I believe two or three.
There's three. There's one in the basement.
Yep.
One in the main upstairs and one in the upstairs.
Yep. So three.
So, and then like I was trying to talk to each one, like, because how did someone know to get 100 coins in a level for a star? There is a toad that tells you that.
Okay.
And
Yeah. Just to contextualize this here, the whole point of the game is to get stars, to open doors, to fight Bowser. Fight him 3 times and you win.
Awesome.
it's
So very
fun.
very simple, but it's a basically choose your own adventure of where you're going to go and where you're going to get those stars. But the gate points are, have you collected enough to go to this next area and play these next new worlds?
Yep. Like there's go on. What were you gonna say?
Well, just again, I think that just speaks to the brain power of the creators of Mario and the people working on these games to evolve what the game is. Where and they do this thing where they keep enough of what Mario has been, so it's like it's going to be a good Mario game, but you're always getting something innovative, something different, something you haven't done before, and it creates these really fun experiences.
Yeah, and I think with what draws me to Mario, like Mario in general, it's like it gives you a childish feeling, like feeling of still being a kid without feeling too childish.
Oh yeah, it respects you as the player. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any game other than like the educational games that like
Yeah.
really talks down at you
No.
for playing this. It's supposed to be for everyone.
Yeah. And what I was getting at earlier was like, I think Mario 64 has the biggest speedrunning community in any video game.
It's one of the biggest
Really?
speedrunning games ever.
Really?
Just because of how versatile the game is and all the things you can do with it, all the different categories that people try to hit. How fast can you do this? Can you, skip to the end? Can you get all the stars? However you want to play that game.
There's 120 stars in the whole game, and you have to go through. There's 15 levels with 6 stars, 7 if you count the 100 coin stars, and then there's 15 castle stars. So you just find them in secret levels in the castle and all that stuff. There's a 0-star run, which I've tried, impossible. There's a 1-star run. There is a 16-star run, which is my specialty, and there's the 120-star run.
Yeah.
And there's the 70-star run because there's the final boss, the final Bowser. You can unlock him if you get 70 stars in the game.
Okay. Are you guys recording yourselves doing the speed runs, or are you just doing them for fun on your
So
own?
what a lot of times if you want to get into it, which I'd say that's the perfect game to get into it with,
Yes.
is you sit down, you pick a category, you pull out your phone, and you click start, and you're just timing yourself. And when you're done, you click stop. That's your best time. Can you beat that? Can you get it lower and lower and lower? Can you meet these certain goals? It's just making your own fun with this almost 30-year-old game.
And figuring out a way to shorten your time is figuring out the star that takes you the longest to get, cutting that star, and then just I found this. I watched this YouTube video, and then there's this one guy who say there's one star, for example, where it's you cut through a wall that's it just looks like a regular wall, but an elevator will take you will go down, and if you clip the end of the elevator, you'll just clip through a wall and just end up right by a star.
And just to make sure I'm not favoritism loving this game too much, if you type in speedrun on Google, Mario 64 is one of the first ones that pop up. Right next to Minecraft and Super Metroid, a few other games.
Super Metroid being up there makes sense as well.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
another very tight platforming game with lots of different objectives that you can set out to do. And yeah, that one's also very fun to watch.
When you guys are like, do you track your speed run times anywhere? Like, or are you like,
There is a forum for it, and you can post your best times and see where you are and where you stack up. The competition for that game is ferocious, so I wouldn't take that into consideration if you're trying to, prove how good you are. But just making it a fun, friendly competition with friends, or however you want to do it. I mean, there's plenty you can do there.
Schubes, do you have like a Google Sheets where you have all your times written down? Do you show them to women at bars? Or are you like, hey,
What's your best 16-star run?
My best 16-star run is 22 minutes and 7 seconds.
Very nice.
Literally from start to finish.
hell yeah,
And the record is like just a shade under 15 minutes.
nice.
It's like these people do things that are like, well, a lot of them are also like, it's called a tool assisted speed run. I don't even know how the tools work.
I wouldn't even count those. They're fun to watch, but it's not the same category as a person and a controller. And
Yeah.
I like how you guys are talking about this, like in bodybuilding where they have natural versus
yes,
like juice
versus roided out.
Yeah,
same
you can
thing.
roid it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, TAS is its own world of crazy where you
So-
program a computer to play a game to do things that are just physically impossible.
And with this speedrun in particular, there are two glitches. One of which is thought of as arguably the most famous video game glitch of all time, which is the backwards long jump.
Yep.
So the first one is like there's a star where it's like there's a rabbit in a basement. It's just I don't even know how they came up with this star, but it's like you catch the rabbit, and then like you go through. If you catch the rabbit, you can like it gets you a star. But instead of getting the star, you like grab onto him and just like take him to the edge of a door. And if you do it right, you can like go through the door without opening it.
It was the first big seam to be broken wide open. And
Yep.
at that point, people were like, oh, I can beat this game way faster than they ever intended. And you pair that with what he was talking about, this backwards long jump, which is about, same level of like playground talking as those whistles in Super Mario Bros. 3. This idea was like, oh, if I jump at the stairs at this certain angle and I keep jumping and jumping and jumping, you build up all this momentum and you can fire yourself in directions at lightning speed.
It was like a framing issue. Like you were essentially breaking the game.
You were storing built momentum.
Yeah, and it
And
was like
unleashing it in terrifying ways.
you would like go up so fast that the game didn't have the framing speed to. I don't know how to explain this.
But basically, you pair these, your little rabbit in the corner with backwards jumping into a staircase, and you now have this 16-star challenge that we're sitting here talking about that's so ubiquitous that, anyone who knows what a 16-star challenge is knows exactly how you pull it off.
Yep.
So okay, so with that being said, like with the 16 stars being in the game, were the 16 stars was all this purposely set up? Like,
Oh, heavens no.
okay,
16 stars, or specifically 15 stars, is how many you need to get the rabbit to show up.
okay,
Yeah.
And then that 16th star just happens while you're playing through and getting to the final
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, you need the 16th star to unlock a certain portion to get
Got it.
to beat
Yeah.
the second
No,
boss.
and I think it's hilarious to me that Nintendo doesn't recognize it, and Shigeru Miyamoto would turn his head away from it and scoff at the idea that you're playing this game in this very specific competitive way when it's supposed to be the everyman, platformer.
but isn't it, that's an interesting argument because then it's like, well, is there anything that can't be turned into a competition?
Exactly.
I mean, especially
And
especially
I
something
argue
like
it's there's no wrong way to play it.
Yeah, and yeah, like okay, maybe this is not the way you intended for the game to be played, but the game can be played this way, and it's bringing people joy that are playing it in this way.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing anything bad with it. It's
Yeah.
it's not
Oh,
like
it
he didn't
does
like accidentally
get- it
create
does
Nazis or anything.
Right. It does get spicier because there is another version of Super Mario 64 that came out only in Japan, well after the game came out, where they added in like the rumble support for the controller and they fixed some bugs. One of the ones they fixed is that stair jump. So
Really?
you can't do
You can't pull it
that
off.
that same jump trick that you could if you were playing the game before that.
It's like, for example, like I used to play Pokemon, like the Game Boy Color games as a kid. And in another famous video game glitch, there were 3 games, red, blue, and yellow. Do you ever play Pokemon?
No, again, this is me being like 10 years older than you guys.
Yes.
And so I missed the Pokemon train. And
Oh, man.
and yeah, and so this is the thing that like, and especially through teaching and stuff, I've definitely interacted with it, and I know about it, but like I also don't have a deep dive of it. I can recognize like Squirtle and Pikachu.
So I'll come back next week.
Yeah, we'll talk. There's a what's the dude that is the running back of the Lions? I think he just got traded.
Jamal Williams.
Yes. Do you know about this guy?
I know the name Jamal Williams.
So he is
Super nerd.
A super nerd.
Hell yeah.
He's an incredible NFL running back. Listener, you got to look this guy up. Who is super into anime and Pokemon. He
rules.
He wears like Naruto headbands like in the locker room when he does interviews with people. And there was somebody that was interviewing him about Pokemon, and they were like, "What do you think?" They're like, "Do you have Pokemon cards here right now?" And he's like, "Pokemon." He's like, "Don't disrespect it." He's like, "Don't say it wrong," and like started like giving this like reporter
that's
shit
amazing.
about it. It's pretty great.
Jamal Williams rules. So I was getting at with like Pokemon, there were like 3 original games, Red, Blue, and Yellow, and there was a glitch in that game called Missing No. And the Missing No glitch was you would talk to one guy, then fly down to an island and like surf along the island, and like you would have items in the game. And like one of your items in your menu would be like duplicated to infinity. And that's how you fix that. And Red and Blue came out first. Didn't Yellow come out after Red and Blue?
Yeah. That was based on the Runaway anime success.
Yeah. And then they fixed the glitch in that game.
Mm-hmm. Same idea.
What do you guys think about? I'm pretty sure on my list was Mario Galaxy. Oh no, Sunshine was next.
Sunshine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sunshine,
So
Sunshine was the GameCube's Super Mario
let's
64.
hopping back on the timeline there. So the GameCube was at the time the worst performing Nintendo console. And what's funny to me is that looking back on it, it had one of the tightest freaking library of games.
It was so
but it
good.
was so catered to it felt like exactly our demographic, like young teenagers who grew up with Nintendo, who saw like these successor games come out like Mario Sunshine
And Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Metroid Prime, like all of these great games that just not a lot of people were playing at
And
the time.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk was on PlayStation
as well, yes.
Yeah. Well, and so okay, so to give you my rebuttal on this was like, again, me being older, I remember when the Cube came out and I was like looking at stuff and I'm like, hey, can you do like and I want to say the Cube was out during like, was it PS2 or PS3?
Yeah, PS2.
PS2. Yeah, and that's because PS2 becomes the biggest seller of all time.
So that console was a runaway hit. It killed Sega entirely. It became everybody's first DVD player.
Yep,
It
that's
sold
That's the reason.
100
That's
million.
the reason it was the biggest seller of all time, because it doubled as a DVD player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a media center for you. I mean,
Yeah.
for the like, I could run my CD player and my DVD player through my PS2. And being a kid that was in college at the time, I was like, this is great. Like, I don't have to have like a separate stereo for
sure.
my CD collection. I can just be running stuff through like Winamp or Napster on my whatever at
Right.
the time. All the different shit that I had.
Oh, and there were people that never played video games that just bought it to have that exact function in the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and again, they were like, yeah, like it's a media platform. Like you don't even have to play games. And then it became a thing where people were like, well, fuck, I already got it. I guess I'll get a game.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's the whole reason that Xbox even exists, because Microsoft wanted to be the computer in your living room sort of deal.
100%. Yeah, no, you're
So
absolutely
you
right.
had these two giants competing it out over there.
And as you said, Sega's gone.
Yeah,
Sega's been fucking wiped from the field with the last thing that came out was the Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast, and which was its cool little eclectic system that only survived for about 2 years until the PlayStation 2 just, blew
Completely
it up.
eliminated it.
Gobbled it.
And in the meantime, Nintendo is still doing what they do, and they were coming out with their tailor-made experiences. They were trying to grow their audience, but the GameCube was just never really the system for it. However,
Can I ask you, Alex? Can I ask you a really stupid, potentially really stupid question?
please.
Do you think it had anything to do with the fact that the discs for the GameCube were smaller?
I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, and I'll chime in with this. Was like the GameCube was just such a weird system. And like, and that was so weird because, like, pretty much at the time, like the disc had become the thing that you were just used to handling. Like my DVDs, my CDs were the same size. Like my video games were the same size. Everything was that same size disc. And then you would get a hold of a GameCube disc, and it's just like this little thing. It's like the size of a fucking Oreo.
Well, and the whole reason they did that was so you couldn't pirate GameCube games.
Yes. And so there's that, and then again, it's Nintendo's whole thing of like, our core thing is our games, and you come to us for Super Mario, you come to us for Link, you come to us, for Metroid, Pokemon, yeah, and just like, and then new things like Pikmin, and like trying to like start these other franchises, but at the same time, it's like, well, if you're a third party developer, fuck you, like you're not like, you're used to making stuff that's. It can either be on the Xbox or it can be on the PlayStation, but this is a whole different thing you got to design for.
So here's the fun bit with the GameCube is that up until now, every time a console came out, it came out with a Mario game. You had Mario Bros. For the NES, you had Mario Land for the Game Boy, you had Mario World for the Super Nintendo, Mario 64. The Mario game that came with the GameCube wasn't even a Mario game. It was Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Which I love that game to pieces. It was such a departure from what people were expecting.
Very
that
much so.
I think just having that day one being like, what in the world is this game that they came up with? I think may have strayed off some day one buyers and adopters.
Yeah.
For them to eventually, about a year afterwards, come out with Mario Sunshine, which I think is one of my personal favorites.
I think like going back to like Luigi's Mansion and stuff, like we'll get to Sunshine too, but like with Luigi's Mansion, a big drawback with that was you could beat it in 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, it was designed to be a pseudo arcade experience that was a 4 to 6 hour long game with a high score system.
It was a completely different, like, you were just, have you ever played the game before?
I know of, never played.
Okay.
It's basically you're just sucking ghosts into a vacuum.
Yep.
It's a puzzle game, action game,
Kind of an adventure game too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
The first boss was a baby.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
A little baby ghost.
Little baby
you
Chauncey.
were in a mansion.
You were in a crib for your first boss.
Fighting the baby, but it just sounds like an acid trip. Being like, yeah, man, do you remember that part where you went out there and you like fed the ghost dog a bone, and then it like sucked you into the dog house, and then you fought the bog monster that was in. You're like, what the fuck are you?
What is
talking
happening
about?
right
And you
now?
pressed a button and released booze.
What
all throughout the
happened to
house.
Jumpman?
Oh,
Yeah.
and forgot about this. All the booze he released into the house, they were named,
They were
and they were
puns.
all puns.
Yes, which this also tracks for Nintendo to have some
yeah.
like lighthearted, cheeky fun.
Yeah.
I will also say with the GameCube, one of the things that was weird about it, but looking back on was really cool, was the design of it, where like it was made to be portable. Like they had a little handle on the back of it, and it was also designed with 4 ports right in the front of it. So it was made for like party games.
For sure.
Just like the 64.
Yeah, and I think that's like such a cool thing that Nintendo did, was like they tried to make something where it's like, you could take this on the go, like take it to people's houses, like don't just like let it sit.
It
at
literally
your
had the
place.
handle on the back. Of
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, and just take it anywhere you want to go with it. So okay, so Sunshine, I had no clue what was going on in that fucking game. Like I remember playing it a little bit, but there's like you're walking around, you have like a water gun on your back or something.
So you have this water gun robot backpack thing, and the whole point of that game, again, departing from the norm there, was cleaning up this island of all of the graffiti. So you were trying to fight this creepy shadow Mario who was running around. It had some of the most story of any Mario game at that point. Like they again tried something new, and it didn't really stick, but just absolutely full of personality. That game in particular has some of the most personality I think I've seen in any one standalone Mario game.
I wish I had played that one more too. It's like as much as I played the GameCube, I barely played Sunshine.
I distinctly remember the Caribbean soundtrack for that game,
Yep.
which again was like such a weird departure from Mario. And but again, it's that whole thing where with every Mario game, there's enough of Mario of like, okay, I'm comfortable, I'm familiar with this, and they're like, but now we're gonna put this twist on. We're gonna throw something new at you.
I haven't even begun to start praising Koji Kondo, who's done all of the music for Mario since the first Mario game. He's
Wow.
considered like one of the best video game composers of all time. So like every tune you ever get stuck in your head from a Mario game, from a Zelda game, and all that stuff comes from this one guy.
That's awesome.
It's nuts.
Yeah. But yeah,
I
that
think
game
Pokemon
in particular.
was the same, wasn't it?
Pokemon had a central music person for a long, long time, and now he's like part of the head of the company, so he's not doing music for him anymore. But that's Matsuda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, just the fact that he was able to jump straight from, these Latin-inspired, like, fun songs to jump around to like this tropical soundtrack just for that one game.
Right. Yeah, and just completely switch up what that sound is. And again, retaining enough where it's like it's still Mario, but now it's like this whole steel drum thing. It's it's kind of like when Metallica did that album where Lars's drum was all fucked up, and then but like this was a good version of that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it was like good Saint Anger, not shitty awful Saint Anger. All right, so these last two games on this part of it, guys, I've played neither of these: Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, so those are the next two systems. So I'll kind of run through it real quick, just so we're not
was the
sitting
Wii
here
and the
talking
Switch.
for another.
I don't think
hour
Wii
time.
U had a Mario
It did.
game. The what?
Not a 3D Mario game, but it had Mario games.
Okay.
But anyway,
I
so
don't think it had their Mario game.
right. So anyways, you went from GameCube being this kind of sheltered console that not a lot of people had with some tailor-made experiences to the massive runaway hit of the Wii. And that was purely because motion technology, Wii Sports, and like all of this stuff became the next big household craze.
Normies love the Wii. Everybody,
yeah.
everybody loved bowling with Grandma.
Yeah, and there are still plenty of grandmas who will Wii Bolt. Like that is just such a new experience. That was it's the most Nintendo thing Nintendo's ever done, was get these games into everybody's hands we would like to play, and it immediately makes sense. You point at the TV, you can swing your baseball bat and all this stuff.
I think it was around the time that Xbox came out with Kinect.
So Kinect and PlayStation's Move or whatever they called it were all responses to what Nintendo did first.
Yep.
Because they were selling as well as the PlayStation 2 did when it came out. It became the next thing that needed to be in everybody's house.
Yeah, and again, I think this is this thing where Nintendo takes risk, and sometimes it doesn't work, like the Virtual Boy, and sometimes it fucking hits a home run.
How
like the
how
Wii.
could I forget the Virtual Boy in this tour of Mario with Mario Clash? My God. But yeah, no, so they had this massive install base, and what they came out with was, again, just this unique Mario experience with Galaxy. Galaxy's whole shtick was that Mario's in space, and all of the planets that he's exploring have their own gravity that suck you to them. So they developed this amazing engine that could get this running and make it feel good. I mean, the idea of just jumping around a sphere just sounded so crazy at the time. I remember seeing that thinking, there's no way this is going to play good. Like, this is going to be a mess. I'm going to be motion sick. I don't know what I'm going to do with this game. And it ended up being this amazing hit. So much so that they had so many ideas for that one game that it eventually got its own sequel. Mario Galaxy 2 came out 3 or 4 years after the fact and just almost felt like a completely new game with how much stuff they were able to pack in from that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of a rarity thing for a Mario game to get its own sequel. Mm-hmm. And then, what did Odyssey come out on?
So
Switch?
yeah, let me derail from the script a little bit
Okay.
there, because while that was happening, the other big runaway thing that Mario did around that time was get big again on the handhelds.
Oh,
Do you remember New Super Mario Brothers?
I remember
for the
that.
DS?
Yes.
So that is one of the best-selling Nintendo games for that decade. It was probably the best-selling Nintendo game because the DS became this whole runaway hit just as a a handheld of its own. And that was when they redefined the 2D experience. You know, you had Mario in space and Mario jumping around and doing all these crazy things on your TV. But
And they had remakes of old games portable.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was during the Game Boy Advance time is when they were doing a lot of the old games again and getting
Yeah.
them in people's hands. And then they followed it up with, hey, here's Super Mario Brothers, but new.
Yeah, and getting that in you know, with the new graphics, but that same familiar 2D gameplay that you grew up on and you had before, and now just like a really refined version of that. Man, I'll be honest with you, fucking portable gaming systems scared the shit out of me because I know how much time I spend gaming now, and the idea that I can take a game with me, I would get nothing done if I had a Switch or if I had a DS.
Yeah. So to put it into perspective, Super Mario Brothers is the best-selling Mario game. If you're not counting like Mario Kart, Mario Kart
shit.
yeah.
Holy fuck.
New Super Mario Brothers was the second best.
Nice.
So I mean, that was when everybody got right back into that original '80s formula that worked so well, and they were able to redefine it so well to make it feel new. I think it earned that new title to it.
Well, and it's just something that they're like, it's just something you don't see a lot of these days. And it's fun to go back and play those kind of games, like playing a side scroller, playing something 2D. I got really stoked. I downloaded Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Hell yes.
And it's like, it plays exactly like all
so
the
much fun.
like
Your coin-op beat 'em up.
yeah, it's like, oh, it's River City Ransom, it's Double Dragon, it's Bad Dudes. It's like,
Yeah.
I know this shit. I know punch dudes in the face, go right, like Streets of Rage. Like,
Yes.
and so I love seeing when modern game companies are starting to dip back into like those titles of yesteryear before we went completely 3D, but now doing it with like modern technology and modern graphics and sound.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, Mario Bros, Mario Bros 3, Mario World, those were retro games back in 2004, 2005. So for them to revitalize that and make it a staying power again was revolutionary.
Yeah, a whole new thing.
And on the Wii, they followed it up with New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which was a tailor-made for the living room experience that you could play with 4 players.
Nice.
So that, in and of itself, I don't know if you were as crazy into it, Schubes, at the time, but we had like 4 players playing Mario at the same time, like tossing each other around and all this crazy stuff.
I never did that.
Oh man.
I think like with the Wii, it was for me. It was
And
like,
that was the third best-selling game, was the New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii. I mean, it's crazy how big of a success those 2 games back-to-back were, even while, Galaxy was being this amazing 3D platformer alongside it.
I think it just speaks to just the ability to put Mario in anything and make it work and the fun of it, and then it's that combination of the instantly recognizable mascot meets incredible gameplay that everybody can enjoy.
For
it's
sure.
just because they've mastered, like they've been doing it for so long. It's like if you give them like any concept, Miyamoto's been around it for so long. He just knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and man, okay, so let's talk Odyssey real quick because that really gets me like wanting to jump into like this whole other part of like Dr. Mario, Mario Party, Mario. There's just
side
so
stuff.
much side
Yeah.
stuff.
So between all of those runaway hits in the Wii and Odyssey, there was this like dark period, let's call it, with the Wii U not being a great follow-up at all, being the worst selling console, like right behind the Virtual Boy.
It wasn't even a necessary one.
It was their first HD console.
Okay.
And it had its New Super Mario Bros. U and man, that's about it. Mario Maker
Yeah,
came
I
out
remember
for that
that
where you
one.
could make your own Mario levels. The 3DS had like Super Mario 3D Land. And then Wii U followed up with that with Super Mario 3D World. And Super Mario 3D World is a great game, but it was on a dead console.
Yeah.
When the Switch came out in 2017.
The Switch essentially like because like weren't people wondering like is Nintendo like kind of a dead franchise?
There was a point where people were talking about like Nintendo was getting into mobile games, and people were like, "Oh, well, Nintendo should just be making games for other consoles." Like this isn't working out
And
for
then
them
the
at all.
Switch just fucking nailed
The
it.
Switch is still amazing. I mean, it's 6 years old at this point,
Yeah.
but it's still such a fun thing to have, this handheld console TV hybrid
Yeah.
that you can take around. And again, right off the bat, their first move was get Mario on there.
Yep.
Gun to my head, Mario Odyssey might be. I have to say, it's probably the best Mario game. Like objectively, just well crafted. There's nostalgia blindness and all of the love I have for all the previous games. But if I only could play one Mario game for the rest of my life, it'd probably be Odyssey.
And they also, like, with that game, they also came out with that system. They also came up with Breath of the Wild, which is just like, it took...
The monster Zelda hit.
Yeah,
I know
it
this
took-
isn't a Zelda episode, but I mean...
It took Ocarina of Time and basically, it kind of took the idea of Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64 and just kind of molded them into one. It's like this choose your own adventure, but also battle this big boss at the end. It was, I mean, I've logged well over
Easy.
100 hours on that game.
That game is very easy
It
to do that with.
rules.
So I'm
And they're coming with Tears of the Kingdom
in
later
like
this
a
year.
month. I thought this would be the
can't
year of
wait.
Zelda, and here we are with the Mario movie and all this Mario hype, with it almost being the year of Mario instead.
Yeah.
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is going to be amazing.
I
but-
know. It's like, they're basically, with Tears of the Kingdom, like expanding on Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but to hog the mic and
No,
blow
dude,
Mario's dick a little bit, Odyssey is just such a fun game. I think it really perfected that sandbox go and explore thing. Because
Yeah.
with Mario 64, that's the one that everyone kind of pointed to as like, this is the perfect go and do what you want, and here are all these objectives. You do one, it would give you a thumbs up, say, way to go, you did it, pull you all the way back into the castle and be like, okay, now go pick another thing to do. Odyssey, instead of having like, what was it, like 7 stars or 8 stars per world, we're talking like 80 per world. And you don't get pulled out when you're done with it. You walk in, you get those same hints. It's like, something about climbing up to the top of a waterfall. Well, there's a waterfall up there, and you're going up, and you're like, oh, what's this little cave? What's this little thing? And you're just running around. You're collecting moons in that game. So by the time you get to the top of that waterfall in the first world of that game, you've probably already stumbled across like a dozen other things for you to go back and like really look into. You can get absolutely lost in that world of Mario. And specifically with that game, I mean, they brought back Pauline from
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. Yeah, she's like the mayor of New Donk City, which is like Donkey Kong themed.
Hell yeah, dude.
And there's just all of these fun locales to go and hit. And that game, I mean, that one absolutely reawoken my inner child. I mean, it's just go out and, explore all of this stuff and get lost out there and just go crazy with it. Again, no major story or no like real drive to go do this thing other than you're Mario. You're jumping around. The big shtick with that game, like you had your flood backpack that shot water and your gravity worlds from Galaxy. You got Cappy. Your cap is a sentient being who talks to you, and when you throw it out, you can use it as part of like your moves. You can jump and go grab it, but you can also capture other enemies. So like if you walk up and you see a frog hopping around, you could throw your hat at it and become a frog. Or like if you walk up and you see a giant
It's like
T-Rex sleeping on the hill.
It's like Kirby in a way.
Yeah.
I'd like to think of it as like kind of like Spawn's costume, where like his chains and cape
Yeah,
will kill people.
pretty much.
It's like that,
But
It's not
more kid friendly.
a little less murder.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, okay. Let's do this. Let's kind of transition. So we know the main core line of Mario, but again, this dude's been in over 200 games. He's showing up in stuff like fucking Dr. Mario, Mario Party, Mario Tennis, Super Mario RPG, Mario Golf. It just fucking goes on and on and on. Yeah. Like, what are your guys' favorite non-core Mario games?
So the Mario RPGs are very, very fun. The Nintendo 64 had one of my darling dear games, Paper Mario, which was
I remember Paper Mario.
Super Mario RPG 2,
Yep.
basically. And it was just a storybook. So, I mean,
I never
you had,
played that one.
Oh, man.
I think I have it, but I think I
I'm
have it
going to
somewhere.
insist that you go home tonight and you boot that thing up and
need
just
to.
go back to 1999 with me.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to think that like somebody in a meeting was like, all right, let's take like what is Super Mario Brothers fuck Final Fantasy, and it's like, all right, like to just like throw us out there. It's like, look, guys, we're gonna make an RPG of Mario. Sure, obviously that is the move.
Right. And, then they pulled in this company called Camelot and just said, all right, start making sports games for our systems and you can have Mario. And then all of these games became runaway hits like Mario Tennis and Mario Golf.
And Mario Baseball.
Baseball.
Strikers, which is a soccer game. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no.
Strikers is a soccer game. Sluggers is the baseball game.
And then there's
Mario
there's
Superstar
a
Baseball was the
volleyball
baseball.
game, I think.
Sports Mix, I think, had
Yeah.
volleyball and like horse racing and stuff. But it's just such an easy sell for these people who like Mario in this world of Mario to be like, well, do you want to play baseball Mario? Do you want to play, tennis Mario?
Well, and I think it goes back to like the Mario Kart concept where it's like take this thing that's a real sport but make it fun.
And also, the weird thing is, like, at their core, they're also good sports games.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can actually strategize stuff where it's like, oh, I have I'm playing baseball right now. Okay, I want to make sure I use this bat at this time to make this thing happen. And then also in these different sports games, we're like, it kind of like going back to Mario 2, where like, well, this brother jumps higher and this one's stronger.
Right.
Like those abilities also show up in these sports games, and like just we talked about earlier with like Mario Kart, where it's like, well, Bowser and Donkey Kong are the heavies, and they're the heavies in all the other games as well.
Right.
Yep. And they're also the heaviest, but they're also the strongest and they're the slowest.
Yeah, and the more of these games you play, you kind of go to appreciate some of the characters that aren't your Mario and your Luigi, and you kind of get this fondness for it. One in particular, and that's kind of been a niche internet celebrity. So obviously, there's Wario, who is the evil Mario who showed up in Mario Bros. 2, who's Schubes' favorite over here.
It is literally
by
to
far.
the point.
So,
Can I say this real quick? It is to the point that if I'm playing Mario Party and I am not Wario, but someone else is, and we're playing a mini game, it will fuck with my head.
So you have to be Wario.
I have to be
your
Wario.
default Wario.
Because I'm like looking at Wario, I'm like, why isn't he? Is my controller? Oh, I'm just not Wario.
And in my favorite origin story ever, Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64 had a doubles mode. And everybody had a doubles character. Mario had Luigi, Princess Peach had Princess Daisy. Wario was just kind of standing there by himself, and they're like, oh man, what are we gonna do? They're like, hey Nintendo, how about Waluigi, and he's purple and he's evil. And they're like, all right, yeah, there you go. And now Waluigi just has this own like cult personality to him, and some diehard fans like myself.
Really?
Oh man! So with you being Wario in all the party games, I have to be Waluigi. It's the same way.
Yeah.
Guys, will you please go as Wario and Waluigi for fucking Halloween this year?
I have considered it in years past.
I have done
considered being Wario.
Waluigi as Halloween costumes before.
I've never done
I
Wario, and I need to.
Guys,
This is the year.
This is the. Do you want to do it?
guys,
Let's go.
guys, can I get a Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers handshake over this right now? Oh, thunderclap! There it is. Hell yeah, dude.
We get some reverb on that in the mic.
Yes.
Nice. No, that
Absolutely.
people's bases have exploded.
But where do
in
we
their
go
cars.
though?
The Mushroom Kingdom. I don't know.
So wait. So where is the theme park though?
Oh,
If it's in Japan? I swear. Because
so
you've been
there
to
is.
Japan.
I have, but I've not been to the theme park. I went before it opened. The theme parks right now are in Kyoto and Hollywood.
Ooh, we're going.
And
to
they're
LA.
and they're opening up in Orlando one in 2025.
So okay, so like I'm gonna ask this: like, have you been to a Mario theme park?
It's on the list. It's high on the list.
It's on my list.
I mean, like once I get more money, we gotta make an LA trip.
That would be so much fun.
I know.
Yeah, that'd be a blast.
Again, this culmination of all of this stuff that you only had video games to appreciate, and you can just walk out into it.
I know.
I mean, it was handcrafted by Miyamoto. Like, he put the same level of care into those theme parks as he did all these games.
And it's like we're gonna be Disney adults, but
It is. It is exactly that.
I'm ready for the next generation of it.
I know.
Yeah, it's just different Disney adults.
We're just gonna be putting on Mickey Mouse ears, but like we're just be like in a
Mario
Mario
hat.
hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in Mario hats. Yeah, 100%. That's the move.
Like as much as I make fun of Disney adults, and as much as I think of that they're psychopaths, which they are, but but like we're kind of the same in a way.
Yeah. Before you go and beat up an Alex, that was Schubert saying that about the Disney adults.
No, I mean
I
I'm
have
totally
no problem
cool with it.
with Disney fans.
The what?
I said I have no problem with Disney fans.
I mean, I never did either, but then I had to host. I host trivia as a side job, and I've had to host
okay,
Disney.
that's fair.
I've had to host Disney trivia
It gets
on
intense.
multiple occasions.
Yeah.
These people are in fucking sane.
So from that angle, completely fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, there was a TikTok of like an adult woman with Mickey Mouse ears, like crying at Magic Kingdom, and people were just like, "Grow up." And then I also say it's like grow up, but also at the same time, if I was in Mario World, I'd be like, "This is insane to me."
Right.
Yeah.
I would almost cry.
Everybody has it's definitely a thing where people have fandoms and there's like different worlds of it. And it is one of those things you're like, why are you freaking out so much about this? And then everybody has their thing. We're like, oh, this thing fucking rules. That's why.
Right.
And other people are like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's
Yeah.
like I make fun of Disney adults, but at the same time, I go to a Bengals game, put on a T. Higgins jersey, a guy who isn't me, and just go and watch. And
Now I'm thinking about some kind of weird like Bengals Disney World hybrid where the players just walk around and high five you and take goofy pictures with you.
or I'll just get a picture with Houday and be like, just push some kid out of the way so I can get a picture with Houday.
Yeah, no, that might be the move. All right, well,
Yeah, let's get back to it.
well, before you physically assault children, a fun game to physically assault
And
people
after.
in is fucking Super Smash Bros.
Oh my God, yeah.
Ooh, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, 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 yes,
again,
yes.
this is one of those games where it's just like the concept of it is so easy to come up with, and it's just like, holy shit, I can't believe this got made, but I'm so happy it got made. But
And
it
again,
just-
it
it's
didn't
so
start as a
nuts.
Mario game. The fact that they can take this great idea and tool it into, I mean, that's the Nintendo big crossover. But it started out as, what do they call it? Like Dragon Fighter or something like that. It was a platform fighter. They're like, we really want like this idea of jumping around 4-player fighting because you couldn't do 4 players Street Fighter style, obviously. So they came up with this amazing concept, and there's, all this cool video of like these polygon characters beating each other up, and they're like, okay, well, how do we give them all personality? It's like, well, we go to the library of personality. You've got Mario who can throw fireballs. You've got, Luigi who can high jump and do all these silly moves.
And Link with the
You have
sword.
Link with the
Yep.
sword, Donkey Kong, Yoshi.
Samus.
Yeah.
Like-
So just the creativity that they did with that specific series of games. I mean, there's been 5 or 6 of them now, and Ultimate's probably the best they'll
It
ever do.
really is.
Ultimate deserves the name Ultimate.
And I think what sets this apart from other fighting games is instead of like the more you beat them up, instead of blood and guts, it's they go farther, they fly farther,
You build up that percentage and then really knock them off stage.
and it's just the best.
And it's a party game. It's a fighting game. There's a huge competitive scene for it.
Oh yeah, very much. So. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's one of the bigger esports, and it's something we said earlier that makes Nintendo games great. Is it's easy to pick up, especially at a party. Like
Yeah.
you can totally be a few beers deep, and somebody hands you a controller, like or jump in. But to master that game, to get really fucking good at it,
It's-
there's layers to this shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that
there's
is just such a
tournaments everywhere.
star series for Nintendo that
and that was also another one of those playground games where it's like, oh, I unlocked Mewtwo. Like for example, Mewtwo in Melee was like, oh, you had to play versus mode for 20 hours. But one of those playground secrets was like, oh, if you leave the game on overnight and play versus
with
mode,
99 stock Jigglypuff and like
but it's just like it would give you 8 to 12 hours.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that became like the college experience for me at the time was when Brawl was dying out and then Smash for Wii U came out, and I would have people over to do Smash for Wii U nights, and that just same thing, a couple beers deep, anybody could be handed the controller and you knew kind of what to do and you could have fun with it.
yeah, and it just instantly jump in and play. And I think another thing that Smash Bros. Does so well that is so cool is not only do you get to fight all these characters that you know and love, but you get like these little statuettes with like the lore of Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's so cool that how much Nintendo like honors their past and teaches you about the history of it and all the stuff that popped up in those games. So like Earthbound, I didn't really know anything about.
That was a lot of people's first experience with Earthbound, like this game that no one ever heard of. I thought it was a Pokemon trainer that knew some Pokemon moves for
Yeah.
some reason, and then come to find out it's like one of the best darling Super Nintendo RPGs that I'd never heard of.
And like Onett, for example, in Melee had like one of the best soundtracks to any stage in Melee.
I loved I also loved in the Smash Bros. Game just like the evolution of the stages where stuff would start moving or falling or breaking.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
it would force you to like react to the environment.
And that they almost got carried away with it in some of those games. There's some stages that are just not fun to be on, but it was that, giving them that personality that was part of
It
it.
was just like for example, like the Rainbow Ride stage in Melee, for example. It was
Yeah.
just like constantly moving. You just like you couldn't be on like one succinct platform for the entire stage. You actually had to like move from like you had to go from like fighting on a boat to like fighting on like two little platforms, like fighting on like another. I forget what the rest of the stage was, but
Yeah, I just love like all the stuff that would pop up. Like you could fight in Donkey Kong's jungle. You could fight on the F-Zero track. Just
Yeah.
all that kind of shit.
I think what was cool about F-Zero's track was like you were fighting on the cars. Like if you ended up on the track, you would lose.
Yeah,
like,
you
would
got
like lose a
fucked.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, which is another fun thing about the Smash Bros. Series. I think it's one of the coolest games to ever come out, and I like it, for the multitude of reasons that we just listed off there. It's a great single player game. It's a great party game. It's a great competitive game. It's a fucking great game.
It's a fighting game that your parents are cool with you having.
Oh yeah,
It was like it was rated teen, but like there was no blood, there was no guts. It was just like punching. It was just fun.
Do you guys have a favorite Super Mario cameo in anything? Like where Mario pops up in another game, whether he's like a character, an NPC in the background, just anything where like you can't play as Mario.
Can't play as Mario makes it tricky.
I would say for me, it's Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
You're saving Mario, who's trapped in that mansion.
Who's
So,
trapped in is it a painting?
Yeah.
Who's trapped in an acid fever dream of a haunted castle. I can't make too much fun of Mario in this because I had a dream last week where I was dreaming of Ghost and I started moaning in the dream and because the ghost was moaning, but I was moaning in real life and I woke my wife and my dog up and they were very concerned, just like me being like and like getting hit to wake me out of this. So all right, so Luigi's Mansion, respect. I see you.
Okay. I'll throw one out there just because the story behind it's too fun. Punch Out for the NES.
That's mine.
So-
I love Mario as the ref.
So before there were these rules about what you could and couldn't do, it got programmed into the game and shipped. And they were like, "Is that Mario out there like counting out the TKO? Like what is going on?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." It's like you can't do that. It's like, well, we just did.
Yeah, that happened.
Sorry. Like he kind of just snuck his way into a couple things back then in like the 80s and early 90s until they really solidified like here's how you represent Mario.
Yeah.
So at that point like a Mario cameo was this tailor crafted thing to be like you have to, follow these guidelines. He has to do this, he can't do that. And you didn't really see anything too crazy up until, again, GameCube was such a weird console. I think you had like, oh shoot, which basketball game was that? Like,
I don't think they had a basketball game for Mario.
oh, they didn't. They absolutely
NBA
didn't.
NBA Street.
NBA Street. That
Yeah.
was it. So NBA Street was this very realistic looking game where you were playing street hoops, and for the GameCube version, you had Mario. Like he
Because
looks
of course you
so fish out of water in that game. It's surreal. It's hilarious.
Oh, and that was the thing at the time where there was games like I want to say it was like Soul Calibur when it got ported
Yes.
onto GameCube. Like you could play as Link.
Link, yep.
And on other systems, it was like you could play as Yoda or something like that. Like basically,
Yeah.
like each system it was ported on.
I
Like
think it was Heihachi for PlayStation, and I can't remember who they got for Xbox. But it
Yeah,
was the same idea. It was like you're representing your console
Your
by having
console.
the special character.
yeah, I think it's cool when shit like that happens. I'm a big fan of it. I love seeing a fish out of water thing, especially for something high profile like that. I think it's cool. And yeah, I'm with you on Mario as the ref in Tyson's Punch Out. It's just so crazy where it's just like, are you guys doing this?
It's
just-
like who thinks of that?
yeah. Like, well, and it's the thing too, where it's just like, are you doing it because like it's a nod to the system? Like you're giving that, like, you're like, yeah, we like your mascot. We like you. We wanted it in the game. Or was it just like, fuck it, man, put it in. Just like, it will be like a little Easter egg for people.
Yeah.
Right. I think nowadays you really only get that when you have like indie games and stuff like that where there aren't really rules and you can sneak Mario in or a Mario reference or,
It's like when
Hide a little
Disney
coin.
tries to sneak boobs into one of their movies.
for that one frame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a weird thing back in the day, like in the the dick that they snuck into like Little Mermaid and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like always like some weird, not always, but like just again one of those things where people like back, especially in the day, like cell shaded graphics, being able to like just like get in there. It appears for like a second. It's like the dick in Fight Club. So okay, let's move out of video game. Let's get in the real world. Do you guys like have any kind of Mario collection, or do you collect Mario
That
stuff?
motherfucker does.
Oh boy. So I've got a basement full of video games, like a lot of video games. There's a lot of Mario memorabilia that comes with that it's just been fun to kind of accumulate over the years. I've got some like silly looking 90s stuffed toy Mario and Donkey Kong that don't even look like them. And then a lot of the Nintendo merchandise coming out of that and into the 2000s. It's almost weird now going into like a Walmart or something like that and seeing Mario toys that look like that Mario movie Mario.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like it's just all the uniqueness to it has been fascinating for me. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff I've accumulated.
I like that Mario is on a level of like being such a property and brand that you can get all sorts of Mario stuff. Like you can get it on a t-shirt and on a hat, and you can get figurines and action figures.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You can get like keychains and shit. Like you can really get it. It's akin to something like Star Wars or Kiss,
for sure.
where like they have their advertising on everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No,
like,
for the record, I'm not that Mario decal person, like where you walk in and it's just wall-to-wall Mario.
But those dudes do exist out there.
they,
do, and that
you ever seen
concerns
like
me.
those Guinness World Records? Like most collect, like I've seen them for like The Simpsons was a big
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
like some Disney stuff. Which do I want to meet that person? No, but it's like they're just like someone's room is like wall to wall The Simpsons, or like wall to wall Mario, or something like that, or wall to wall Paul Abdul. That might be me, but it's just wall to like. You just go to his basement. It's just like one corner of like NES games, one corner of any SNES games, and then like a little shelf for like N64 games. And is it alphabetized?
It is alphabetized.
I mean, I would do that, granted, but like it's impressive.
Do you have an app that you can list your stuff on?
I do, in fact, yes.
What's it called?
So price charting has it built into their website, and you can actually see like the values of certain games. And then I just have my own list for like just personal collection and insurance reasons and stuff like that.
Nice. I do the same thing with my records. Discogs is my app, and then and then I keep a Google Sheet for all of my albums.
There you go. Yeah, exact same thing.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing with getting into collections, where like when you have collections, you have to figure out like a system of how it works,
For sure.
and like how you access stuff, and especially stuff like physical media like that. Like,
So I'm a little jealous at like a record collection, for instance. You only have like one device that you have to worry about using. I've got like 18 different systems that have to be like wired up in a very specific way to all these different ports on TVs, depending on what I want to hook up. Like,
And not just 18 systems. You have like 3 TVs, because like for the N64, for example, like
4 TVs. But continue.
shut up. But it's like for the N64, like it doesn't work on like a giant LG screen TV. Like it has to work on
Not
like
without modding and cables, and I am in fact working on that.
But like it works best on like an old 90s.
Yes.
It does, yeah.
Just Magnavox TV.
And there's some science behind that, like just the video outputs and what it looked like at the time, and
like
what
they tailored it for that.
it was built for those
specific TV.
TVs.
absolutely,
Exactly.
yes, 100%.
So in case you're wondering, like, oh, this game didn't look as good as it used to when I was a kid, you're absolutely right if you're hooking it up to a flat screen TV.
Yeah,
Yes, you are.
It was not meant to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. At the time, they were
Not out of the box. There's ways around that. But
no. In the 90s, they're like HDMI. What? What the?
Right.
What is that? Is this something aliens give us? It's like, well, you'll get there.
yeah, I mean, the first Nintendo didn't even have the yellow, red, and white wires. It was coaxial.
Yeah,
you had to hook that up and flip it to channel 3 or channel 4, depending on, how your TV was set up.
100% channel 3 all day, every day.
Right. Right on.
Yeah, I have Super Mario and Luigi tattooed on my feet.
I saw that. That's amazing. I love that.
That's in my collection. And then I have some toys and T-shirts. I don't have like a ton of stuff, but that was for me. It was like when I was like, what do I want on my feet? And I was like, that seems to be the way to go because it's kind of player 1, player 2, right foot, left foot.
Yeah.
And just I love Super Mario. I love gaming, and I was like, I want to have something where people are like instantly if they see me, they're like, this guy likes video games because I've never had a bad time meeting people that like video games. Like if I meet somebody for the first time and I hate doing small talk, if video games comes up, I'm like, okay, sweet. We at least have something in common.
Right. Yeah.
And I can at least do a 15-minute conversation here at a dinner party or whatever.
And for you and me, it's stand up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's having that thing where like you instantly see each other and it's like, oh, this and this. Cool. Let's deep dive and talk. Because again, it's kind of a specialty thing where like there's a lot of people that don't know stand up or they don't listen to podcasts. And so they're like, who the fuck is this guy? And they don't know who it is or why that's special. But somebody like you, like if I'm like, yeah, David Tell, you're like, obviously.
The GOAT.
Yeah. And then, sit there and have a conversation about that. Or, like earlier we were talking about Dan Soder, like kind of a newer guy. If for people who are outside of comedy, but is somebody to us that we've known for years and followed his career, it's like, all right, cool. Yeah. Let's deep dive into this and have that conversation.
And if me and Anthony run into each other barefoot at a barbecue and be like, oh shit,
New friends.
He's got the jump boys
Right here.
Yeah.
Buddies. Yeah, I'm interested in and I think that it's cool that like video game tattoos have become a thing, and you do see those now where like people end up getting like full sleeves of Mario stuff, and and all sorts of different video games, which
nuts.
It's just cool. Well, look, guys, was there anything that we didn't hit upon that you want to talk about Mario wise? Was there like a game that we missed, or was there something that stands out in culture?
I feel like we barely touched on it. But I want to talk about Mario Party for a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude, good call. Let's get it going.
So I've brought up this Reddit post the most. And I say it to Alex, I've said it to him way too much. But there was a Reddit post. Are you a Reddit guy, Tank? Mm-hmm. I've also side note, I've done an AMA. Never do an AMA.
No, that looks brutal, dude.
I did one 3 years ago about a hot button political issue, and boy howdy.
Why did you do that?
I got arrested during a protest, during a Black Lives Matter protest, and like 3 days later I did an AMA, and it went mega viral. We're talking 37,000 upvotes.
There's no part of that story, the aftermath, or the AMA that like I would ever touch with a 10-foot pole on the internet.
Yeah.
And he lived and breathed it.
It was wild. So back to what I was saying. There was a Reddit post that said like, Reddit, you have one chance to beat God at a video game of your choice. What do you pick? And then someone commented, God would have unlimited skill when it comes to a video game. The only chance I have is a game full of complete bullshit. Mario Party.
So you just got to beat God at party games?
Well, it's just like...
I mean, for those who haven't played it, it is basically a board game, video game. You roll dice, you move around, and you play these mini games, but the boards are chock full of insane stuff that can happen at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Like you could be winning, and then the Bowser space shows up, and you lose all your coins to that guy. And you're like, oh, man.
Yep. Or like you land on a chance time space, and you have to trade stars with someone. So all those... You spent the whole game getting like 5 stars, and then they all of a sudden go to someone who has 1.
Yeah. And I grew up thinking that I didn't like board games. I just liked Mario Party because all we had in the house was Mario Party and Monopoly. Monopoly's a dog shit game. Sorry. But
it never ends.
But
it does never end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one plays it right, and it's not fun, and you have to do the bidding.
You got to do math, and somebody eventually becomes like a real cocksucker about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Where they're like,
well,
they become like a land baron. I think
pretty much.
Yeah. Huh. Now I'm rethinking capitalism.
And conversely, you had this game where you get to be the Mario characters in the Mario world and play some little mini games with your friends, and also have that Monopoly-like experience, but so much better.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was the thing to do, because all those Mario games we've been talking about for the past hour and a half are all mostly single player. Mario Party was the thing you could do with your friends.
Well, Mario Kart too.
And Mario, oh my God. I don't want to get into Mario Kart. I will say that it is the best-selling Nintendo franchise, period, for a reason. It is an exceptional party game and all this stuff. I think the best selling Nintendo game, period, is the newest one, Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just very mainstay, very fun development of that first Super Mario Kart all the way up into this amazing series.
It is incredible, and I do think that what you're speaking about with both Mario Party and Mario Kart is the fact that these games are fun to play with other people.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you can do it on your own; it's fun, but man, it is just really fun to play either of these games.
You could
with
not
somebody
force
else.
me to sit down and play Mario Party by myself.
No, that's definitely a rough day.
Yeah.
The only way you're playing Mario Party with yourself is like if you're just trying to get drunk. So,
We got a hand up.
Shubes, are you playing Mario Party by yourself?
There is a.
Are you practicing? Are you training? What are you doing?
I am level on the Switch. I am level 99 in Mario Party Superstars.
Congratulations.
Dear God. Oh my God. I was gonna say I'd use it as a drinking game where I would just like end up like give myself penalties for losing to the computer. But
Yeah.
But you're just a man out there playing solo Mario Party.
There actually, fun fact, there is a Mario Kart drinking game.
Drinking and driving?
Oh yeah, no, I have played this.
That's very fun.
Yeah.
Explain to the listeners what that is if they don't know.
So there's different takes on it, but the one that we always played and enjoyed was that you're doing a race, a 3-lap race in Mario Kart, and you have a beer. The goal is to finish the beer before you finish the race. And because you're responsible, you have to pull over and drink if you choose to drink. And then
you
get
have
back
to
race.
finish the beer before the race
And
is
you have
over.
to finish the beer before the race.
This game rules.
There was plenty of sloppy party goers at these.
This is
drinking and
also
driving
called
nights.
Beerio Kart among some friends of
Beerio
mine.
Kart, yeah.
It's such a great. Whoever came up with that is a genius.
It's
Oh,
so
it's
because
fun.
it's such a great rule and it makes total sense. But yeah, I love the fact that you have to you can't drink and drive. Like you must physically stop and now you can chug.
Yep.
But you got to kill this thing before the end of the race.
Right.
So get to it.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I used to play a drinking game with my friends in college. We used to play a Tiger Woods golf, and it was as long as the other guy's ball was in the air, you had to drink.
Okay, that's great.
It's so fun.
Yeah, dude, drinking video games are a blast.
And also with a Tiger Woods drinking game, if you drink enough, you fuck a Perkins waitress.
It's in the rule book.
So, all right, guys. So winding down, final question type here. What's the future for you guys in Mario?
So obviously, in 24 hours, I'm seeing this Mario movie. I'm
I'm
beyond
probably going to see it
excited.
at some point too.
And I'm very curious to see how that landscape kind of changes and if more Mario fans start popping up and playing these games that I hold near and dear. As far as the video games go, there is a sense in the air, or there's some excitement about what the next game is going to be, because it's been about 6 years since Odyssey at this point. Whatever they follow it up with, I'm going to be totally on board with. I think they've got a really good team working on these games now and really good development staff. Zelda's in great hands. I think Mario's in great hands. So I'm beyond stoked to see what they come up with.
Do they have? Here's a question for you, and I've heard nothing about this. Are there whispers of a new system at all?
Not necessarily. I mean,
I don't think they need.
I think with
I don't think they need to right now.
not immediately. I mean, this new Zelda game's coming out in a month. They're not going to drop a new system right after that.
Yeah.
So I think it might be on the Switch. It might be something else. I mean, there's been whispers of a new Donkey Kong game in that same 3D
Okay.
platforming style that they might have been working on, but who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, the Nintendo likes to drop news right at the beginning of the summer, along with a lot of the other companies, so it might be about time to hear about what's been cooking behind the scenes.
That's exciting. That's exciting stuff. When it starts to get that time of the year where it's like, hey, let's start talking about what's going to be coming out for that fourth quarter Christmas season.
Oh, yeah.
The holiday
Yeah.
season.
That's,
like what's dropping in October, what's coming out in November.
Yeah, no E3 this year, but Summer Game Fest and just companies doing their own thing. June is kind of the prime month for video game news, so I'll be keeping an eye out for that.
All right. Keep an ear to the ground for us. Let us know what's headed our way.
Dude, I just got
Whatever's coming down the pipe.
I just got a Switch membership for a year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell
Do
yeah,
some
dude.
online Mario Party.
Hey, I can actually play Mario Party with other people.
What a concept.
So what about you, man? Like, is there any new games that you're wanting now that you have this membership? Is there anything you're looking to play on the system?
I'm just when Tears of the Kingdom for Legend of Zelda comes out next month.
Yeah.
I'm probably getting that.
I'm probably disappearing from the face of the earth for a good month.
Would you like is that a game you can play like online with people?
No, it's going to be single player.
Okay, so like when that comes out, like we're absolutely having like discussions of like how are you playing it, how's it going?
100%.
Dude,
I'll be there.
100% down. I think like with one advantage of like the Switch though is like you can like actually download games.
Oh yeah. So I will say, if anybody is getting that Super Mario or itch, if any of this podcast has helped, Nintendo Switch is perfect for
It's
it. I mean,
so
you've
good.
got Odyssey right off the bat. There's some fun 2D Mario games, but with that membership, you can play Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. World. If you get the next tier up, you can play Super Mario 64 and the Paper Mario and Mario RPG and all this stuff.
And there's one game, there's like one little
Or sorry, not Mario RPG, Superstar Saga.
like there's a cartridge that has 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all on it.
Oh, the 3D All Stars. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
3D
to find
All-Stars.
it used because they don't sell it anymore, which is stupid. But
Yeah, why?
not getting into it.
They did the same thing with the GameCube edition where they had all the games on it back in the day.
Like a preview disc, or
Yeah, well, no, it was sorry. I think it. Damn it, now I'm getting my shit confused. But there was at one point where like Super Mario and
oh yeah, the
like,
All Stars disc on the Wii.
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the Lost Levels and 2 and 3 were all on one
Yeah.
disc. Yes. Yeah.
So, but long story short, if you're looking to scratch that Mario itch, the Switch is a great home for it. It's a great console with pretty much anything you could want on it, but it is a very good home for Mario right now.
It's the best.
Is it a good system to have? Like, if you got kids, like, is
Oh,
it,
100%.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the controller's detached from the main thing. You can just kind of hand them out. Multiplayer's super easy on it. You know, there's plenty of good experiences.
And it's one of those systems like you can either like you can play like this as like portable, or you can use those like little controllers on the side, hook the screen up to like a little thing that attaches to your TV, and use the controllers on the sides to play. It can also be 2 controllers.
Right.
It's weird.
guys? There's
the
just too
rules.
much freedom here. I'm scared at the amount of freedom you guys are giving.
Jump
me.
into the possibilities.
I'm thinking about it. Damn it, I don't have the time for this, but you're making it sound really cool.
It's the coolest.
It is very fun.
So I'm with you guys on the. I want to take the trip to Super Mario World someday.
Okay.
I definitely want to go to that at some point. Same way, like I'm not a big theme park guy. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not a Disney guy. I don't think I've ever been to Universal Studios.
I have.
Actually, I know I haven't been to Universal Studios, but at some point I would like to go just to be able to like knock out the whole Simpsons thing, and I want to visit the Star Wars thing that Disney has now.
Right.
Like, there's just like enough to like. I just need to see it like one time, not
Sure.
once every 2-3 years.
Yeah,
or
I get
anything
that.
Like that.
I feel like if your goal is to see Nintendo in addition to a massive amount of cargo shorts, go to Mario World.
Oh yeah, no, there's gonna be a lot
So many.
of cargo shorts. Yeah, definitely.
Too many people, not enough showers.
Yeah, a lot of boys looking for their tendies, like, and just living their best life and taking in Mario World.
There's a reason no school shootings happen in LA. It's because there's fucking
Good
Mario
God.
World right there.
Oh man, well, I don't know if we can end on a better note than that.
I could think of 100.
I could think of 99.
How about this, Alex? Where can people find you out online, man?
Lurking in the corner. I've got that Insta you plugged earlier, but really, I'm just enjoying my own thing.
Okay, right on. You're just peeking out through a hole on the internet and being like, oh, "It's still fucking awful out there. Leave me alone."
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's the better way to do it.
I mean, to each their own, but that's how I've kind of treated my relationship with it.
Yeah, it's just like, for me, it's kind of the opposite where I'm just like, I try to be active on it because I'm trying to like build up a comedic persona of like, just like, oh, I'm like trying to like go viral with clips or make connections with people who are like fucking massive. So yeah, I'm on all of them: Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat if you're 13, TikTok if you're 12.
Whoa, hey, Dalia, settle down over there, okay? Like, don't do that. I'm trying to help you here, man.
I know.
So I'm just gonna pass my plug over to Schubes there. Let him find all the 13-year-old fans.
So is it at Big Schubes on everything, or do you have a link tree?
Yes.
What's the best way to get to you?
I have a link tree. It's on my Instagram.
Nice.
It's connected to my Twitter, Instagram. Oh, duh. It's Twitter, TikTok. It's got my show schedule on it, which it's like a Google Doc that I just continually update. What else does it have? It has my podcast, Fuck You, We Like the Bengals.
Hell yeah,
which
dude.
Lloyd and I are probably going to be recording pretty soon. Dude,
Shout out Lloyd. What up?
Lloyd rules. A funny story. Literally today, I was sub-teaching at Mason High School, and a teacher that I sub for found out he just listens to the podcast.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, do you host a podcast about the Bengals? I'm like, yes, I do.
What's it called? Listen up, school students.
No, it was a teacher who said that.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
I really, no, man, now I really want you just to do a thing where when you go in, you just go on like the smart board or like the dry erase and you just write "fuck you," we like the Bengals on the board
Look us
before
up.
you leave. And yeah, and just do a quick plug for the show. Hey kids, I know we had a whole thing here where I taught you history today, but you can check out "Fuck You, We Like the Bengals" on iTunes or Spotify, wherever you get your podcast at. It rules.
Dude, so funny enough, this is like pre-COVID. It was 2019. I was working on a slideshow. I remember specifically it was the Patriots episode, and I had "Fuck you, New England Patriots. We like the Bengals" on the slideshow. And this was in like 7th building. Like two of my favorite kids. They were like Lucy and Nick. They're like two of my favorite kids. They like walked up to me and like they saw the computer, and they saw "Fuck you, New England Patriots. We like the Bengals" on my computer. There's like, what's that? And I'm like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. What's that? The greatest podcast of all time.
It is the greatest podcast of all time.
Yeah, tune in, kids.
Actually, you know what? Second best. There's this other one called "What You Into," which is pretty good.
I'm trying. I'm just trying to walk that path.
No, it's not
that
this
you
one. It's
created.
another one.
Oh, well, fuck. Well, what do they talk about?
Things that people are into.
God damn it.
I'm kidding.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, listener, you know where to find me at Neil to No One on Instagram, and Linktree and all that shit's there. And also, thank you for listening to the show, especially if you're a fan of video games or a fan of Nintendo and Mario, or if you know somebody who is, share an episode link with them. Whoever like is your gamer buddy in your life, be like, hey, check out this episode. They sat down, they went on a huge deep dive into the Mario universe. And if they like that, they're probably going to like the other episodes. Over 100 episodes of What You Into. Each one's different, different hobby, different collection. Come explore, learn something, and maybe have a laugh. Hey, guys, thanks a lot for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Dude,
Thanks for
thank
having
you
us.
for having us.
Yeah, man. This is a blast. Listener, peace.